I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rock in Knicks universe, main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the Knicks Wanna Drive. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? All right, man. Let's get this party started, man. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Ah. Yo, man, I'm running mad late, man. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I didn't know that Vibes and stuff was gonna run over so long, man. We had such a good time on Vibes and stuff. Man, Vibes and stuff live in the mornings, man. We had such a good, just chopping it up, just doing the morning thing. Let me shout out my people, man. Salute to Miss Geraldine. Salute to King Ribby. King Ribby is in the building. Ultra 41, what's good? I see you. Kerry Cox is in the building. T. Smith, what's happening? Man, Cover the Spreads team made the playoffs. Okay. Cover the Spread team is in the playoffs. Adam is in the building. Man, Adam, what's good? As usual, man, I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk to y'all about, and I really don't know where to start. But I'm going to start with a question. I don't know where to begin with all this stuff that I had bottled up. Right? But I think I'll start with a question. Right? So here's my question, and I'm not doubting the team, and I don't want to sound negative, and I shouldn't have to preface this either. And I shouldn't have to preface anything either, but sometimes you have to preface stuff because sometimes, you know, things are maybe taken out of context. So we'll preface. The team is all right. The team is all right. But we'd like the team to be better. Right? And wanting the team to be better, it puts us in a tough spot like, where do we make the team better? Right? Some people will say you can start making this team better by getting rid of the coach. right? Some people will say you can make this team better by trading Randle. Some people have even said you can make this team better by sitting Grimes and starting Emmanuel quickly. And y'all know this. Y'all are in the chat. Y'all hang out in the chat. Y'all know what it is. I don't make this stuff up. These things are comments that are said in our chat. Right? So a lot of times I don't really get into like the tussles that are in the chat. Like when people are tussling in the chat, man, I just let people tussle in the chat. I don't care. Because a lot of times it's temporary and people hug it out and make up. Or make up and then hug it out. In the chat if they disagree or whatever. But it's that time of year when the Knicks are going to be the topic du jour for the rest of the NBA. The Knicks are going to be the topic du jour in the NBA because we're the biggest market. We have, or we are one of the teams that have a lot of resources. We are one of the teams that have noticeable improvements that can be made. And we have the biggest media market. So this time of year, from January 1 to the trade deadline, the Knicks name is bandied about in every doomsday scenario and every coming home scenario known to mankind. Shout out to Wacko. Shout out to Sherwin. What's good, fellas? T. Smith in the building. If there is room for this team to make improvements, where is it? Is it feasible? Is it doable? Right? The thing that I don't like, and I will admit this, and it's the reason why I went on my Quentin Grimes thing last night. Every time we talk about improving this team, we talk about removing Quentin Grimes from the lineup. No matter what player you mention, the key cog being removed from the lineup is Quentin Grimes. On the one hand, Uncle Freezie is not allowed to call him a ham sandwich. On the other hand, let's go get OG Anunoby. This is me mocking. This is me mocking somebody in the chat. I don't know who, just a random person. You know, I'm not throwing shots at anybody in particular. I'm just saying, in general, every time we speak about improvement, we talk about replacing Quentin Grimes. The hip-hop legend Cormega is in the building. Varsity Customs TV is in the building. Salute, sir. Appreciate you, Varsity Customs TV. I'm just going to read one comment and then I'm going to get back in the bag. Get back in the pocket. Sherwin says, Knicks can make improvements at every position. It will be hard to find a better power forward than Randle. Wait, what? What'd you say? Wait a minute, let me read this again. The Knicks can make improvements at every position. It will be hard to find a better power forward than Randle. What? D'Angelo was in the building. What's good, D'Angelo? Knicks 1 and Brew was in the building. What's good, y'all? Ivory 10, what's good, man? I see you. My thing is this. For a long-suffering Knicks fan, and this is just me speaking, and I noticed one of the errors that I make is sometimes when I speak to a certain group, I don't clarify that I'm speaking to a certain group. And so people be like, yo, Uncle Freezie be flip-flopping. No, man, I'm speaking to a certain group right now. I got to get better at mentioning I am speaking to a specific group. I shouldn't have to say that. But, you know, some people, Freezie, man, be talking. And meanwhile, I clarify my stance. Like I said at the beginning of the season, I'm apathetic to this season because we didn't get a first-round draft pick, nor did we get Donovan Mitchell. So whatever happens this year, it happens. So I say that about once a week, and then people will be like, yo, Uncle Freezie said he wanted to trade for Trae Young. Easy, y'all. Calm down. Jermaine Royster's in the building. What's good? Annuity 25 is in the building. South Brooklyn, what's happening? All right, to those long-suffering Knicks fans that want to win championships, I see you. I see you. And winning in the building. I see you, right? And I want to speak to y'all. Free Keith is in the building. The host of Knicks Freestyle in the building. We rock Knicks Freestyle Sunday morning, yo. Fire. So I want to speak to the long-suffering Knicks fans for a minute. Everybody else, I'm just yeah, I really shouldn't have to do it, but sometimes people will say, yo, Uncle Freezie be flip-flopping. Even though when you speak to like a certain group, like you have the conversation with them, the others, they'll be like, yo, Uncle Freezie said he believed in, even though I specifically said, and I know this is annoying to some of y'all, but it's annoying to it because of whatever. And not saying that I don't care. Y'all know what it is. You know, we try to put out a good quality product. Right. To the long-suffering Knicks fans, I don't think there is an answer for you not come soon. Right? If you just want to win right away, Danny Landis is in the building. Free Keith is in the building. I'm gonna put the link in the chat in a little bit, but let me get these things off first. Let me get in this pocket real quick, and then I'll throw the link in the chat, and then we can go to Space Mountain. Let me get some rhetoric off, and then we can go to Space Mountain. Right? For the long-suffering Knicks fans, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound disrespectful, and it's not disrespectful. But, man, for the long-suffering Knicks fans, y'all just going to have to wait and be patient. And I know the long-suffering Knicks fan, infamous New King is in the building. What's up? JJ's in the building. Danny Landis is in the building. For the tankers, my heart goes out to you. The tankers, y'all see the future. Right? Y'all see the future. And y'all's future should start with Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson or something like that. Y'all's future should be Scoot Henderson and Gigi Jackson. Right? Y'all future should start with burn it to oblivion, start all over from scratch. You losing anyway. Why not lose with a purpose? And I'm speaking to the tankers, right? Right? Hey, D'Angelo, I appreciate that, bro. What it is though is when I speak to D'Angelo directly, when I speak to when I acquiesce to the sensibilities of a D'Angelo, just to have the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Just to have a conversation. Others with a different point of view will say Uncle Freezie moves too much to the side of D'Angelo. And why? Why does Uncle Freezie care so much about what D'Angelo thinks? And it's all because we are all Knicks fans. We are all Knicks fans, man. This is Knicks love, man. This is Knicks universe. And what I've discovered over this 2 years of doing this is that Knicks fans finally have a place, right? They finally have a place where they can enjoy being Knicks fans outside of the product on the floor. Because the product and result on the floor will drive you batty. D'Angelo's my man. So we just disagree on grounds. Okay, all right. Hey, man, listen. We're not going to agree on everything, bro. We're not going to. Yeah, when I was doing the vegan thing, we didn't agree on that either. We didn't agree on the vegan thing. And quite honestly, now that I'm trying to do a balanced thing in order to get right, I can admit you were right. But I needed time to figure out the error of my ways, the ERR of my ways. Will Salkins in the building. Rich boy, what's happening? B. Willis, what's happening? My boss, well, my former boss used to say stuff like, man, with all your education, why do you speak like that? That's me. Why do you speak like that to people? Hey, man, you're going to have to take me as I am, bro. I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. Hey, D'Angelo, no cucumber love here. Hey, I got some though. I got some in there, but I'm not just mainly doing cucumbers. You know what I'm saying? Cucumbers and popcorn and all veggie. I'm trying to do a balance. And then I hurt my leg. So now that I can't work out, I feel like an old crippled man, a fat crippled man. But here it is. Let me get back to the point though. The point I'm getting at is to the diehard Knicks fans that won a championship and they deserve one. Toronto won a chip. Boston was just in the NBA Finals. Only team in the division that is not a contender. Your New York Knicks. And why is that so? Roy Hughes is in the building. Oh, geez, JJ, don't do this. JJ, don't do. Let me finish. Let me get out of. Let me stay in this pocket for a little bit before you tip over the apple cart, bro. JJ, let me. JJ is content and flipping over the apple cart. Like That apple cart over there has no chance. JJ is going to flip that thing over. Right? Right? Oh, Reek, come on. Y'all got to let me stay in the bag. Y'all got to let me stay in the pocket. Y'all got to let me stay in the pocket, man. Right. Let me, hey, man. The real, what's good, man? Let me finish. Let me stay in the pocket. All right. So the tankers have a dream that if they start all over from scratch, they can cure all the ills that's been hampering the franchise by just doing things the right way. Start all over from scratch. Start all over from scratch, and then start doing things the right way. Take 2 or 3 drafts, draft in the top 5 first, the top 5 again, and then draft in the top 10. Get your franchise players. That way you won't have to worry about free agents. Find you some diamonds in the rough later on in the draft and build like the Boston Celtics. Build like the Philadelphia 76ers. Build like the Toronto Raptors. Right? In time. Take these 3 years, draft you a Victor Wembanyama. Draft you a Scoot Henderson. Draft the Thompson twins. Draft Anthony Black. Draft Gigi Jackson. Draft Cam Whitmore. Or whoever. The tankers want to say no RJ, no Brunson, no Randle, no Grimes, no Quickly, no Obi, no Tibbs, no Leon Rose. Barely holding on to James Dolan because you can't get rid of him. He the owner. Drip more. That's what the tankers want. That's what the tankers want. And you know what? I can't say that your strategy is flawed. What I can say, though, is that it may be impractical, but it's not flawed. It may be impractical, but it's not flawed. And the reason why I say your strategy is impractical and not flawed is because in order to burn it to the ground, you have to trade off all these pieces when other GMs around the league know that you are trading off all these pieces. The league knows you're tanking. Right? Then there is a group. So you have the diehards that are desperate for a chip. Then you have the tankers who are desperate for a chip also, but want to take a different approach. And then you have the folks that what's that Whitney Houston song? I believe the children are the future. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Right? Give RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes time. Hey, what's up, folks? What's up, chat? I'm trying to stay in the bag. So if you come in the chat and I don't acknowledge you right away, man, it's just because I'm trying to maintain a thought. Right? Then there's the group of the ones that believe the children are the future. And when you speak to them, all they want to hear is play the kids. Right? That means Randle got to go. You got to trade Randle so that Obi can play. Right? They're only tolerating Jalen Brunson for the moment. That's it. They're only tolerating Jalen Brunson for the moment because there is no guy to threaten Jalen Brunson at his position. But trust me, if the Knicks had a 19-year-old center, all these kids, all they'd be talking about is shipping off Mitch and playing the 19-year-old center. Right? If there was a 19-year-old point guard, first round pick, all the talk would be, why did they sign Brunson? That would be the talk. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Because all they are is one step down the road further than the tankers. Because once the tankers get all their kids, they'll be like that same group of the ones that want to, they believe the children are the future. Ivory 10 is one of them. Ivory 10 is one of those that want to burn it down to the studs, start all over, clean slate. Right? Right? And then there are the ones that, and the reason why I have to clarify is because when I speak to, when I speak to an Ivory 10 or I speak to a Sherwin, right? Or speak to D'Angelo. Like, and say if I speak to D'Angelo, Sherwin and Ivory 10 not gonna have patience for it. And it's because we're all different, and they can everybody can have smart comments and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't necessarily have to clarify, but the thing is when you speak in general terms, sometimes people pull their takeaways are the things that benefit them and not necessarily the meat and potatoes of the discussion. Right? So you're gonna say something to so you say something to JJ, and others that don't necessarily agree with JJ are gonna say that you flip-flopping. What I'll say is this: right now, this season that we're in, and I mean not this basketball season, I mean this stitch of time. This January 1st through trade deadline timeline that we're in, you're gonna hear rumors everywhere. And historically, this is when we do the most arguing, which I don't care. Debate is good. But I want to ask y'all a series of questions that shouldn't necessarily have to be prefaced. Like, my question to you as the Knicks sit at 20-18 is, what are we doing going forward? Think about it. After 76 games, we could legit be 40-36. Is that something that y'all like? Sherwin, in 76 games, this team could be 40-36 with 6 games left to go. Is that what we want? Is that what you want? And if it is, that's okay. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm asking because if you project this team, because through the first 36, the Knicks are through the first 38, the Knicks are 20-18. Well, like at the moment, I think the Knicks are 20-18, right? That's okay. It's not world beater, but it's not bad. It's basically stuck in the middle with you. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see where ESPN has us in the standings. There are 15 teams in the Eastern Conference, right? 15 teams in the Eastern Conference, and right now the Knicks are 8th. The Miami Heat all of a sudden are playing great basketball. The Miami Heat went from I saw them one time, they were 12th, and now they are 8th. Seventh. I'm sorry, 7th. So the Knicks right now are 8th out of 15 teams. So that right there lets you know that we are exactly in the middle. Hey, Free Keith, there's no such thing as tied for 7th, bro, in the standings. The Heat have some weird tiebreaker over us. That's why they're ahead of us. And I know what you're getting at. In case you hadn't noticed, the objects in the Knicks mirror are larger than they appear. The Washington Wizards, who once sat in 5th, dropped all the way to 13th, are now in 10th. They have won 5 games in a row. They have won 5 games in a row. The Atlanta Hawks have lost 4 games in a row. And you can bet that they are going to have their February resurgence. So the Washington Wizards are getting healthy. Now, I'm not telling you as a Knicks fan to be afraid of the Miami Heat or afraid of the Washington Wizards or afraid of the Philadelphia 76ers. As one of your brethren, I'm saying we should be bold. But here's the thing. What do we do? What do we do? There are 15 teams in the Eastern Conference, and we are 8th, exactly in the middle. 7 teams in front, 7 teams behind. So what do we do right now? We're in that season where stop saying season. We're in the stitch of time. We're in that stitch of time where we can make some decisions. But what decisions are there to be made? Hey, can somebody in the chat tell me, like, what decision is there to be made? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to trade off spare parts to see how far this team can go? Or are you going to trade off parts for first-round picks? Do you want to make a push in the playoffs? Do you want to trade off parts so that you can move up in the draft? And the thing is, the irony or tragedy, based on however you consider it, is you can't always get a good grasp on market value. You can't always get a good grasp on market value. You remember when people were saying Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, Alec Burks all had reasonably tradable contracts. Remember when that was a conversation? Nah, man, they have tradable contracts, man. We can just trade them to a contender. They'll give us a first-round pick for them. Now, and while I sound like I'm on one side of this or the other, I'm really not. I'm asking the question because I'm more interested in what you guys think as opposed to me thinking this thing through by myself. Right? And my 2 cents says that we're missing pieces to compete in the second round and beyond. And I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you there. But do we have enough in our reserves to trade for that piece without disrupting what we already have on the floor that's doing good? Sherwin came in here just to troll y'all, man. Sherwin came in, he's like, yo, I'm just going to troll regardless. Or maybe that's his point of view. Maybe we should stop calling each other trolls and respect the fact that some people just think differently than others. I'm not the etiquette police, right? I mean, unless things get weird, like when cats come in the chat and make things weird for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, you step in and have to, but for the most part, you know, I'm the mayor, basically, in a ceremonial sense. I'm the mayor in a ceremonial sense, not like I'm in charge, but as, you know, and I represent. Right? What do we do, man? It's January 3rd, 2023. The Knicks are 20-18. The bench is awful. The bench is awful. There is no 17-point per game scorer, no 14-point per game scorer coming off this bench. Who is going to come off this bench and score 14 points per game? And contrary, and even though I'm admittedly apathetic, and I'm confessing that to you guys, y'all know my stance. Y'all know my stance. This season, I'm apathetic. Whatever happens, happens. I really don't. I'm going to still do the same stuff I've been doing, but I'm not emotionally invested in it one way or the other. Occasionally, the Knicks will get a rise out of me, but it's not a long term. It's blip on a radar type stuff. Right? So what do? Are we going to consolidate the bench and go get a guy to help us, like my 2 cents says, or mentioned? You maybe shore up the thing that my 2 cents mentioned? Or are we going to trade away those pieces to get fuel for what JJ and Ivory 10 want? Or do we consolidate the major pieces and go get a guy like Sherwin says? What are we going to do? All right. Now that I have that out of my system, I want to put this link in the chat for those that are rocking and rolling. Right? Oh, hey, I got a Mets channel. I did the graphic stuff. I did the stuff. I'll probably rock for like 20 minutes on the Mets channel after this. I'm not in a rush to get to it. I love talking Knicks. I love the Mets too. After we finish with this, and I'm not rushing. What I'm saying is just maybe after this, we'll go over there and chop it up. Right? Adam, what's good, man?
Uncle Freezie, salute to the panel, salute to the chat. Freezie, I want to ask you something. But before I do, listen to the teams that the Knicks are going to face in the month of January.
Oh boy,
San Antonio, Toronto, Milwaukee, Indiana, Washington, Detroit, Toronto, Washington, the Hawks, Toronto, Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, and the Lakers. So I want to ask you, how do you see this Knicks team going through the month of January with the teams that they're facing?
Undefeated.
Huh?
Undefeated.
How I'm feeling?
How I'm feeling?
No. How do you see the Knicks going through this month of January
Undefeated.
with the teams that I just mentioned? In this
let me do this real quick.
Bim. I'm here to cook. Adam, what's up, baby? Adam, what's up? I'm here to cook.
Ghetto intellect.
Say salute, Ghetto.
Adam, let me piggy tail off you a little bit, Adam. Listen to me, Adam. We would sweep Toronto in the month of January. I gotta go turn the phone. I might have some background noise. Let me go get that. But we would sweep Toronto if the Knicks management would go out and get us a 6'9" defensive wing that Tibbs can get along with. Obviously, Tibbs and Cam don't get along.
Wow. Hey, remember, Ghetto, the Knicks lost to Toronto in December.
Yeah, this is January, though. Undefeated, Adam. Undefeated.
Yeah, Toronto clobbered us in December.
So you don't like the answer. I suspect you don't like the answer.
Well, Ghetto's saying that he feels the Knicks going to sweep Toronto all 3 games. I don't know. We just have to watch and see.
He missed the if part of my statement, huh, Freezie?
Yeah.
I mean, the only way the Knicks are going to beat Toronto if they stop Pascal Siakam. They can't let this man score the way he did against us in December. Come on now.
But you did ask our opinion.
Yes, I did.
And I also said if we get a 6'9" stopper, Siakam can't just crash to the hole. Then they got to go through their offense. I think that's Toronto's issue. I think Toronto In fact, with just the addition of a point guard, you see the Knicks able to look. I don't want to say, God forbid I say good. They look good enough to beat mid-tier teams in the fourth quarter. Because again, I think that's where it's coming to with the fans. The fans can't think of anything in the first, second, or third quarter that is stopping the Knicks from winning games. Anything you get up here, fans hear talk about, you hear them talk about the last 6 minutes. Sometimes it's not even the whole fourth quarter unless we got a 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter and we gave it up. Then it's the whole quarter. But the Knicks are about 75% of the way of being a championship contender. We're not far. And that's why for management to sit with all those assets, you have Julius in his prime. That's what I'm saying. Do they really have a plan? There's no way you get this far and don't say, let's do it now. And because let's say you use 6 of the assets and it don't work, you still got 5 more assets to tap into. Right. I don't know. Either they don't have the connections, either the players they want aren't available, either their plan is to kick it down the road a little longer. But what I'm saying, Adam, we can win games now if we'll just make the move. Yeah, we're in the building. We're in the building, Greenie.
Yo, you just made a great point, and I want you to say, I'm glad you said that for the whole Tank team in the comment section. Because why would you want to throw out a team that's so close to being this close? We ain't never seen a Knicks team probably this good in a long time, and they want to just throw it in the garbage. Like, I just don't understand.
All right.
Yeah, man. I agree.
So those comments belong to Greenie and Greenie himself.
It's salute, Ivory. Stop.
Salute, fellas. Salute. Get on.
Ivory, you sound a million times better, bro.
Yeah, man. I had that procedure done, man. I had to get my nose cleared up, man. It was it was a problem. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Man,
Freezie, why you got everybody going crazy in here talking about tanking now? But you know, you're just starting trouble with everybody.
No, man, bro. Listen, I was on a joint, and I like safely when you and I speak, right? When you and I speak, right? You never hear me say, Ivory, no, I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. You need to talk about what I want to talk about. You've never heard me say that, right?
Never.
As a matter of fact, when you speak, I listen, right? Absolutely. Respectfully, sometimes I'm a little impatient because I want to say something. But for the most part, in our conversations, we have a respectful back and forth.
Absolutely.
Right? But what happens is when I speak to Ivory, when I speak to Ivory 10, those that disagree with Ivory 10, with what Ivory 10 says, they'll say, well, Uncle Freezie is flip-flopping. Right? When basically what we're saying, I'm like, no, listen, I just respectfully like to hear another adult say their piece and conversate about it. Oh, but Free Keith is kicking in the door, y'all. Free Keith is kicking in the door. Hold on. Okay, Free Keith, all right.
Got that man there. Let that man in. Knicks freestyle. The creator. Yeah. Let that man in. Free Keith, baby. Hey, boy. Oh, 6.
We fighting, G.I.
Who's your man?
What's up, boss?
Yo, I love my guy. Yeah. What's good? What's good, fans? How we doing today? How we doing today?
So
to the chat.
So we're talking about
hey, Greenie, what's goody?
Talking about perspective, but like how a lot of Knicks fans have a different perspective, and if you don't share the same perspective as someone else, doesn't necessarily mean you're a troll or a hater. It just means that you see things differently.
Cat don't respect nobody. It's weird and I would assume it's the same way in any fan situation. It's just that the acumen that Knicks fans have, coupled with everyone thinking that their opinion or their way is the best way. Like there's not enough open-mindedness. Like with us not knowing for real what goes on outside of the games that we actually see. We put together our own different narratives. None of it is factual. We don't know. But guys are clan up depending upon which play it is. Cam's half believe all the negative things that's going against him and this that. Like we don't know. All we can do, the only facts that we have are results. And let me tell you something with the results that we have. We are now sitting with a team that's a top 10 team in offense, a top 10 team defensively. And to me, those are results I can live with. As I know the NBA ain't over today. There's opportunities and there's stars trading opportunities. There's gonna be opportunities. But where we are while we're waiting for those opportunities to emerge, not mad at it. And I dare somebody to try to get me to be mad at it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I just wanted to say this to the panel. This Knicks team right now, they are good enough to beat anybody in this league. But are they good enough to win a championship? No. Not yet.
So I look back, I think about what Freezie was saying, even just as early as last night. I heard Freezie talking about, how things change and opinions change based upon the facts on the ground, right? So you can't stick to one way or the highway. It has to be this way, it has to be that way. You change based upon the facts on the ground. And the facts on the ground is this team is a better mediocre team than we thought they were going to be. I'll speak for myself. They're a better mediocre team than I thought they were going to be. I think for the most part, we've gone in and we've beat up on the teams that we were supposed to beat. We've been a consistent team, which is something that I don't think we've been in a long time. And the facts on the ground have changed. Back in the day when I think a lot of people were saying, hey, blow this up, it was when really no one had any clue of what we were going to get from Julius Randle. We didn't know if that was going to be an explosion, if that was going to get – we didn't know what we were going to get.
Okay, right, yeah.
But not all of us were – see, that's the thing. If anybody had a dissenting opinion, like a different outlook on what they thought about Julius Randle, all of a sudden that person, myself included, it's a stand. You're a Julius Randle stand. Can't you see how bad he is for the team? All I'm saying, like, this is a talent-driven league. It's obvious that this man is one of the more talented, one of the more talented power forwards in the league. I'd rather, as hard as it is for cats for the Knicks to actually get top talent, I'm not just gonna throw away somebody just because emotionally, like, cats think that they don't like him personally. Like, you wait and you try to see if it can work out. And now this is exactly the situation I was saying. Like, give the man a chance to work out with a better team. If we listen to some people's trades of Randle, we would have traded Randle for seconds and cap space.
We would have gave up picks. What do you mean? People were willing to give up picks to get rid of Randle.
Imagine if the front office had taken the plan that some fans had and gave a first away to get rid of Randle, you know what? That executive will be walked out of the office with security guards right now.
Here's one way to look at that, though, just really quickly. And I'm not saying I agree with that. I don't. But here's one way to look at that I thought was interesting that someone brought up to me. They said, would you rather give up a pick to get rid of Randle to put you in a position where in the draft you would then be able to get the guy you want, or do you want to keep Randle and then give up that pick later to move down in the draft? And at that time, it was when no one really had a clue, but it was just about what they were going to get out of Randle. But I just thought it was an interesting way to think. It's like, listen, getting rid of Randle means that you're going to be in the position where you want to be, where you're kind of rebuilding. And at the beginning of the season, we were kind of thinking about that because we just didn't know what we were going to get from Randle. And we're like, we're just looking at a mediocre team here. What are we doing? Where are we going? And that's, it was just a tricky time then. That's why I thought Freezie was starting trouble today, bringing that stuff up again.
Freezie's always trying to start trouble. That's his whole job.
I'm not starting no trouble. I'm just having some fun. Yeah, that's a rap lyric from back in the day. That's Kara's one.
Hey, Freezie, you gonna play Danny Landis' intro? Because that music is dope.
We'll see.
Wait, Danny popping up? Pop up, Danny?
Yeah. Play his intro. His music is dope.
Yeah, I'm working on intros for others, bro. It's busy. Bro, it's busy, man. If I could do this full time, bro, this channel would be so fire. If I could do it full time, I just can't, though.
You know who I think I know we talk about Randles and the RJs and the Brunsons and the IQs and the Grimes of the world, but who I feel like doesn't get enough talk. And when I say talk, I feel like there's cats that really should be
Grimes. We need to be talking about Grimes.
That need to be apologizing to him is Mitch.
Grimes,
is Mitch.
Grimes.
Is big body Mitch.
Grimes, bro. What are we talking about?
Big body Mitch is lightweight, the key to really what we doing right now.
He's the backbone of the
Hey, hold on for a split.
And he gets
Nobody deserves this more than
Danny in the building.
Thank you, Freezie.
Free Keith in the building.
Danny. My best friend Danny.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, brother.
From the neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, man.
So I can get any positivity out of you now, Danny? Is it enough time to get some positivity out of you now, Danny?
I'm always positive, bro.
Yeah, man.
Always thinking positive, never negative.
Yeah, man. It takes too much energy to think negative, man.
You believe?
It takes too much energy.
You believe Brunson yet? You believe?
I think so.
You think so? You need more?
So Free Key. Why are you bringing up Mitchell Robinson's name, bro? You know how disrespectful that is.
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and start a Mitch fan club, Mitch Hive. This any game. I tell you, the games that I feel the most concerned about, that I have the most concern around, is when Mitch is out. Those are the games that I have the most concern.
100%.
100%. Any singular player on the team that I'm concerned that we're going to lose a game if he's out, it's Mitch.
I'm not even sure if we've won a game that Mitch was out. Have we won
I'm almost positive we haven't.
I'm almost positive that Free Key trying to stir up something.
I'm not trying to stir up something, but some Mitch appreciation.
What about Randle? So if Randle miss a game, the team can still win.
Yeah, because offensively we good. We have scoring has not been our issue.
I think without RJ in the lineup and without Toppin, it would be tough to lose Randle right now without those two being in the lineup.
I have to agree with you.
It'll be tough. I'm not saying like, oh, wins will be easy, but if it was between Randle being out or Mitch being out, I'm more concerned if Mitch is out.
Yeah, but right now the Knicks are playing okay without LJ.
I like Mitch.
The Knicks playing pretty well.
They're playing good without Barrett.
Yeah, because we got offensive pieces to substitute, and them guys, their defense is up. But like the core of our defense, the game totally changes when like you have to play Mitch. You have to play Mitch differently. They have to play differently when Mitch is on the floor. Like you can't even be as a perimeter player. You can't even be. What's the word? Like you can't even feel comfortable taking your shot. You still got to look for Mitch because he might be up on you.
He destroyed Chris Paul. That's why Chris Paul couldn't do anything.
Nothing. Smothered him. Nothing.
Miles McBride's new nickname is Gravy because he was covering Chris Paul, bro.
Oh, Chris Paul is too old right now. Like, and I don't even slight this. I don't even slight Chris Paul's like as a big negative for Chris Paul. The man is he's an NBA geezer right now. So I expect a cat like Deuce to give him trouble. You not like if a dude's gonna be on you like that, like he's not. I don't expect him to be able to get up on a game where he got a cat like Deuce on him. Not now.
Miles McBride's defense is insane.
Great.
Insane.
But his
smart.
His shooting is way off.
His shooting is way off.
His shot selection is off.
He's got to put up more. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
But that's look at Marcus Smart's trajectory, and I'm gonna tell you, paint that over Grimes, yo. Marcus Smart was not an offensive threat coming into the league, even though in college he was.
We talking about McBride? You talking about Grimes?
Nah, Grimes.
No, I'm talking about McBride. McBride is
Grimes,
young.
though.
I'm sorry, McBride is young. I meant Deuce. Deuce is young Marcus Smart, and I think his Marcus Smart's trajectory is very much something you could paint over him.
Okay.
And Marcus Smart became an offensive threat.
Okay. So, Free Keith, I want to bring up something that the ghetto intellect and myself talked about in your presence, right? And this thing called the soft tank.
Right? Soft tank out the window.
Right.
Throw that shit out the window.
Think about this. Are we in the mode of a soft tank? And the reason why I'm asking is not because I'm trying to generate buzzwords or nothing like that, because I'm not. But we're in that window, that January through the trade deadline window, where for the most part, teams throw stuff in the ether to kind of get a feel for what other teams are doing so that they know how to approach their market spending. And right now, the Knicks are quiet, right? And so the thing is that a lot of people feel like, a lot of people on that frequent the channel, a lot of the people that are subscribed, they feel like the Knicks need to do something. One thing or the other, they feel like we need to do something, right? And right now, the Knicks are quiet. So if the Knicks are quiet, are they secretly grabbing the keys to the tank to crank up the soft tank so that they can give Ivory 10 exactly and JJ exactly what they want?
A soft tank, a tank of any persuasion, soft, hard, or otherwise, would kind of depend on losing, though, right? Like winning games in a row is kind of like detrimental to a tanking plan of any sort, I would think.
That's anti-tanking.
That's anti-tanking, I would assume. then if that's their plan, it's horrible. If they're having a horrible plan at it, like it's a bad plan.
What about,
that's the plan.
Okay, I get you. I knew that was, I play chess, right?
Yeah,
so I'm running the Queen's Gambit right now on this conversation because I knew you were going to say that we're horrible at tanking, right?
It's not winning games doesn't mean you're horrible at tanking. That's the weirdest. Is Golden State horrible at tanking? Like to say that a team winning games means that they're horrible at tanking? That.
Gian, please tell him I'm running the Queen's Gambit right now.
He's known you longer than I have.
You see, this is Knicks fans' logic. We've been so abused, and this is the Knicks fan trauma of 2+ decades of losing. That we look at stuff like getting Wemby or Scoop as the win. No, winning is the win. This is sport.
Okay. So basically, what happened is you saw Jalen Brunson go out and the Knicks go on a slide. You saw RJ Barrett get hurt. You saw Obi get hurt. Right? The Knicks did nothing. Right? Your guy, the one that you just mentioned, is the most fragile of them all. Mitchell Robinson is the most fragile of them all. You just admitted that if Mitch gets hurt, you're worried about the Knicks losing games. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah. I said that a singular player, if of any of the guys on the team that is out, if I had a concern about winning a game, that player, Mitch, would be the player being out that would cause the biggest concern for me. Doesn't mean that I think that we'd have to lose or that we're automatically going to lose. But if I hear Mitch is out, my antenna goes up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're bad at tanking. I just don't think we ever really truly do it. I don't really think we've ever really committed to it. And when we say tank, I think it's important to just let people know no one is expecting these professionals to try and lose, right? No one's expecting them to not put forth their best effort. What everyone is talking about when it comes to tanking is getting rid of vets that are taking up time in front of guys that don't have and taking up time from young guys that we expect to be here in the future, whereas these vets we don't. So just to get that out there. One other thing I just wanted to mention, Freezie, you mentioned something about the team is never going to go there. I feel like sometimes we get caught and we get mixed up between answering things about how we want to do something or what we think the team is going to do. Right. So what I forget, I've just stopped. My whole plan is out the window. I want to just really get down to what I think is possible as opposed to what I think we should do. What's possible and where can we get better? And what do I think the team is going to try and get better at this trade deadline. I think they're going to try and get better. And it probably means some bench pieces. But I also want to point out that all of this means that the Knicks don't have their future. Like their destiny is not in their own hands to a certain degree. We can't get that star that we want because we gotta wait for one to be available.
You poking Free Keith, bro?
No. He's saying exactly what I was saying. In a different way.
No, Ivory. What I get from Ivory. What Ivory is saying is that we are vanilla ice cream, right?
We're in purgatory.
We shouldn't be vanilla ice cream. We aspire to be more. But I don't know if we're moving in the direction quickly enough to be more than vanilla ice cream. I think Ivory is alluding to the fact that we need a star in here right away.
You just said it.
I think that was close. I think we're
you
just the good news is that our team is at a level now where we're still ascending. We're still getting better.
Thank you.
Right. That's why I said vanilla ice cream is still dessert.
But y'all talk about y'all, and it's weird coming from Knicks fans who talk about not skipping steps and this, that, and the other. Going from the bottom worst team of the last 20 years to the top team, you're going to have to progress through the middle. I'm glad that we're here. That means that it's progress.
Here's why I say you're in purgatory. Here's why I say we're in purgatory, Keith. Because we know the future draft picks they're not going to be, we might get lucky, but we won't know that until months after the draft, because we will be taking projections and wild cards. We'll be drafting based upon winning 43, 44 games, 48 games, right? Well, 48 is a stretch. 40, let's say 47. I think that's the high point for us this season, right? If it all goes well, 47, which puts us fighting for 4 or 5 or 6. Okay. Right? The problem, though, Keith, becomes that's the ceiling. And the only thing we have in the future is these draft picks. We can't expect somebody to come walking through that door. If you look at first of all, good free agents aren't leaving. They're not leaving that 20% kicker behind. So this is what I think Ivory is saying, and what Freezie is trying to get you to see, that while we're ascending, there will be a cap. And how long we're going to play with this cap before everybody gets frustrated? Because if we keep hitting that glass wall, just like the 90s, we love that team. But the fact that we left without a championship still left some taste in my mouth.
The only thing I disagree with what G.I. said is this. That 90s team, we didn't love it. We loved Patrick Ewing. Right? And I know people are going to be like, yo, but I love Charles Smith. No,
they were ugly. They were ugly.
Who said they love Charles Smith? Who said they love Charles Smith? Who said they love Charles Smith?
I love John Starks. No, you didn't.
Freezie.
Cass is like, yo, I love Mark Jackson. No, you love Indiana Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is an Indiana Pacer. He's not a Knick. When Mark Jackson was here, he was 30 pounds out of shape. And if you hated Raymond Felton for coming here being out of shape, you also hated Mark Jackson for being here and out of shape. You are a 240-pound point guard. Bro, look, come on, bro. You love the Patrick Ewing era. You didn't love the 90s Knicks. If Patrick Ewing was an average NBA player, that team would have been in the lottery every year. That team had no second star on it at all. Not in Pat Prime. When Alan Houston got
Xavier McDaniel. What about McDaniel?
Yeah, Xavier McDaniel was here for 50 games?
That was early too. That was early on. Before
man.
All together.
And it's like saying, well, we also had Doc Rivers. Yeah, we did. And we also had Maurice Cheeks. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We also had Spreewell. Well, Patrick Ewing was 36 years old when Spreewell and Houston and all them guys got here.
Don't forget Tim Thomas.
Don't
forget Fugazi.
Here's what I do disagree a little bit with GI about is the fact that, when I think of purgatory, I really think of those late 90s teams where everybody was getting old. We had no picks. We had nowhere to go. No one saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
Overexhausted. Yeah, money.
Yeah, we really had no future at that point at the end of the 90s. We really had no future. It was terrible. Patrick Ewing had just been traded. We were just going into all these other vets. We just had no leader at that point.
Mutombo, Glenn Rice.
Yeah, I think it's just totally different now where we have a team that is ascending and getting better. And absolutely, this team does have a ceiling that doesn't take us all the way. But I don't think it's purgatory because I think the team is young enough that we're also ascending, even though it's not at a very fast rate, we're ascending. And we could be at this kind of high mediocre level for a couple of years, for a few years.
That's purgatory. You just 100. Thank you. Hold on. That was you stunned.
Let me just finish.
Because I know how this goes. Now you're going to land your plane, so let me shut up.
Let me just finish. So because the team can stay at this high mediocre level for so long without doing anything, with what we have right this minute, means that we're not in purgatory. Because
that means you're absolutely in purgatory. Purgatory is what is right there without winning the championships. Purgatory has been the Knicks have been in purgatory for 50 years. We learn to stay relevant. We keep the seats filled, but winning the championship, that's not happening.
That's true.
Purgatory. So this team, you're right. I'm afraid that they could fall in love with this team. Dolan's looking at the bottom line. He's like, yo, this works. Guys don't love Julius, but they don't hate him either. He does enough. That's purgatory, having guys that are just good enough to keep you relevant.
Well, purgatory means you can't really go anywhere from there. Purgatory
and I'm glad you said that. Now let me land my plane. What have they done? How have they proven to you they can go to another level? They got Jalen Brunson to this team. They had to get a tampering charge, and his dad is on the bench to do it.
And we lost a second round pick.
And we right. That's what I'm saying. We had to get a tampering charge. And Isaiah Hartenstein. They're the only two draft picks, which they kept trading back. We've proven that they could have done better in the draft. They should have drafted Halliburton. I can show you so many mistakes that they made that to sit here and say that they're going to get this team better, I'm comfortable saying we're in purgatory. I'm sorry it took me so long to land.
No problem. But you do agree that the team does have options, right? And when I think of purgatory, I think of no options.
Well, I'm wondering when they're going to use those options. I don't know when you tapped in. I said, here we are, Freeze. Adam was great. Adam said, we're going to lose to Toronto 3 times this year in January. I said, Adam, we won't lose to Toronto 3 times in January if the Knicks go out and get a 6'9" defender. If we go at Siakam the way we went at Siakam last time, and all Siakam did was play street ball on us. If he's healthy, he's going to play street ball on us again. We're going to lose.
Right, because basically what they did with Siakam in theory is pulled our big away from the rim and beat him off the dribble. And when he went to the rim, there was no shot blocking there. That's how they beat us. Strategically, Mitch is on Siakam. He beats him off the dribble, goes to the rim, and your shot blocker is Grimes, RJ Barrett, and whoever.
Yes. We need to stop Pascal Siakam ASAP.
Well, if you can't beat him, can you get him to join us? Or no? Right? Because Toronto is the 12th team in the East. Right?
Forget purgatory. Toronto's in debt with all that salary. And your boy Ujari, he's supposed to be the brainchild of this thing.
Right.
But I think any of these teams, or most of these teams, including the Knicks, are not in the purgatory that because when I think of purgatory, and being a Knicks fan, I mean, I've seen what purgatory looks like.
No, you described it. Well.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at this now, I feel like if we were able to add a star to this currently constructed team, I really feel that this team could compete with anybody in the
I have a star for you. And shout out to my man Damon from We Talk Hawks. That's our guy. Them the homies over on We Talk Hawks, bro. They man passionate. I was on last night, bro. All I heard was a bunch of screaming. They are. Shout out to my Atlanta crew, man. I think they accept me as like one of the cousins from the family reunion. You know what I'm saying? Something like in that type of context. But I would consider trading Emmanuel Quickly for DeAndre Hunter. And why would I consider trading Emmanuel Quickly to them?
Well, one is a
no-brainer.
One is a no-brainer, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it gives them their third ball handler to play with, Young and Murray, right? And it gives GI his 6'9" wing to guard the Pascal Siakams of the world. Now, Free Keith will never agree with me on this for some reason.
Yes, he would.
Yo, matter of fact, bam, my man. Yo, hey man, hey chat, put fire in the chats for our homies from We Talk Hawks. It's my main man, Damon from We Talk Hawks, man. Put some fire in the chat, show some love. What's good, boss man?
What's good, family? I'm on my laptop, so I might sound a little off, but yeah, I heard that trade proposal, man, and yeah, I wouldn't do that deal. I can't make that. I can't do that deal. Man.
What? Why not?
Hey, but what about this? What about
you
this?
You want to take our scrap parts for one of y'all promising players?
Listen, man. As much as I know when you was on the show last night, I was ragging on Hunter last night. 38 minutes, he only gave me 3 rebounds. I was upset at that last night. But my thing is this: what would y'all think about a John Collins swap for Randle?
Never.
Nope.
No.
We already have an OB, bro.
But I thought y'all didn't like Randle.
Yeah, because they're clueless.
No, hey, you know what? Hey, and so D, it's not what it is. What it is. See, John Collins is a good player, very productive when he touches the ball. When he just standing there in the corner waiting on Trae Young to make it. But anyway, the thing is, it's not like we dislike Randle. It's what Randle stands for. Randle is the consolation prize in the year that we were supposed to get Kevin Durant. Right.
Okay.
So it's like the year they promised you the Atari, and you go in there and you got the Game of Life board game. You like what the you like Pop Dukes? Come on.
That man,
they was cutting back hours at the job.
Hey, Freezie, wasn't I thought last year wasn't y'all trying to run y'all was trying to run Randle out of town, man.
Randle almost ran himself out of town last year.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because Randle had a bad attitude and all that, but now he's changed, man. He's smiling more. He's bold.
Yeah, you got to go shopping when the value's low. The value's high now. You know, things have changed.
Hey, I would have took. Hey, trust me. If I was in charge, I would have. If I was in charge, I would have got Randle last year for the dirt off y'all when y'all was trying to get. Y'all was hate without y'all, but a lot of Knicks fans was on Randle's ass last year. I mean, I was before I found Freezie. Obviously, I was following. Damn, what's the Yeah.
I cannot believe. Hold on, brother. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go, but I'm about to praise you real quick because you proven every point that I've been making for a year and a half. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I want Danny to help you listening.
And I know y'all was going to they wanted to get rid of Randle last year, and I mean it was to a point that I think it was is he married or his baby mama was on Twitter.
His wife.
Called the Knicks fan base toxic.
And they were yelling at his wife and kids in the stands.
Yeah, like I told my friend.
Because we are toxic.
I said a player like Randle, and I like Randle because what he playing? Power forward. He could probably play some small forward with his ball handling skills.
Right.
That's what John Collins lacks. He lacks the ball handling skills. So that's why he's so Trae Young dependent. So I was thinking if we could get a Randle on our team, that gives us another ball handler, but a big body ball handler.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? But I guess I like Randle now. So that's out the mix.
Yeah.
We're gonna mark Randle off the list.
I bet you if you poll the Knicks fan base, they would give y'all Randle for like some back end first round picks.
Yeah,
like picks in the 20s.
And cap space.
And we get some cash, and we'll throw in some cash considerations.
The John Collins part, bro. I'm gonna say this to John Collins, bro. John Collins, if you think people in Atlanta hate you, you bring that same game to New York, bro.
He had to lead a league.
They'd have to commit him to an asylum, bro.
Y'all would have been very cool with making that trade. Y'all would have been very cool with making that trade, though. Y'all would have been very cool with making that trade and would have been so sick right now. Y'all would have been feeling sick to your stomachs right now.
No,
watching the Hawks be a top 3 seed in the East with Randle.
Randle's not going to work with Trae Young and Javonte Murray. That's too much.
I honestly, I
think he would work because the reason we so Trae Young and now Murray dominant is because if you look at our roster, they're the only two who really can handle the basketball, and their ball handling skills is not even. And I'm speaking on Trae and DeJounte. When you watch like their ball handling skill, it's not elite. It's not like a Kyrie. Like if you notice Trae, he doesn't shake his defender. He just blows by him. You know,
Kyrie's one of the top 3 greatest ball handler in the history of this league.
Exactly. So I mean, a lot of our players are dependent on them because they lack the basic skills, dribbling the basketball. You know, same thing with DeAndre Hunter. If you watch DeAndre Hunter, I mean, last year I was on his ass last year because he's the first person I ever seen. He crossed up his defender and still ran into the defender. And I'm like, how you even do that? So
maybe you guys could use a Tyler. Maybe you guys could use a Tyler. What's his name? Tyler on Miami. What's his name?
Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I think everybody can use a one of them.
Hey, what pick? Y'all got any bigs available? Y'all like
iHeart.
You like
iHeart.
No, not good.
Y'all like Mitch? I thought y'all like
I
Mitch
love
Robinson?
Mitch.
Hey, what?
Love Mitch.
What?
Nah, they don't like Mitch. They don't like Mitch. They don't like Mitch. They
I
don't
like
like
Mitch.
Mitch.
I ain't
They don't like Mitch.
I ain't gonna
We're
lie.
in the lottery.
They-
We're a lottery team without Mitchell Robinson, right?
A lottery team. While these cats was getting a shot together, how you win games shooting 39%? Yeah, because Mitch is getting you a rock, a second hand. Mitch is literally the key to this team's success, and cats do not give him the respect that he deserves. He's like a new player this year.
And
That dude is legit a bully. He's
you know what?
a bully.
Hey, you know what? Free. I was telling in that off season, I was telling my friends, I was like, "Hey, we should make an offer for Mitchell Robinson because I know he was a free agent last year,
Right.
and I was following some of the Knicks stuff, and I was reading like a lot of Knicks fans was debating on what to pay him the money, and I was like, bro, we could get that guy, man.
Y'all still got Capella, don't you? Isn't Capella?
There's still Knicks fans that get upset that we didn't take Jalen Duren and paid Mitchell Robinson. There's still Knicks fans that are upset about that.
Listen,
I like Capella, but I would like a more
younger
Capella
version
doesn't have
of
an offensive game, so like we can't throw the ball to him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
they've been trying to
go ahead, my bad, bro.
They've been trying to figure out Mitchell Robinson value since we drafted him in the second round in the 16, 17 draft, whatever year it was, 19 probably.
2018, yeah.
And I still, like Keith says, I still don't know that they don't realize without him on that floor, we are so far under 500, it ain't even funny.
Fans don't realize that. I think the front office, and Tibbs realizes that.
Just know that Mitchell Robinson's clumsy.
The funny thing is it's hilarious how like I look at y'all players and I will like them, and then y'all look at some of our players and y'all because Freezie come to our channel and he be saying shit and I'll be like, well, I ain't gonna talk about last night, but
no, don't talk about last night. That was a fiasco, bro.
But it's just funny like getting that outsider perspective, man. It's pretty. I think it's pretty dope.
What happened? Freezie came over there and trolled.
No, Freezie come. I bring him on the show all the time. He come over there. Yeah.
No, we know he'll put on a community walk.
I want to pull up. I want to pull up to one of y'all shows, yo. Like, I respect it. I respect this man, yo. I respect it.
We do post game live after every Hawks game, man. Come on, I drop the link. I bring everybody on, man. Come on up there.
Yeah, man.
Why? What is? The funny thing is, Hawks fans really feel like they've been terrible this year and played really bad. Meanwhile, they have the exact same record as the Knicks. So I'm wondering, in your opinion,
No, we are
17-20.
They're under 500 right now. Yeah, they're 9.5 games behind.
They did, but they lost 4 in a row. They did, but
Right.
What is not wrong? What is not working over there with the 2 all-star guards? What is not working?
It's a number of things we missing. And I just put a post up in our group. If you look, everybody know we Trae Young dependent on the offensive side of the ball. We was number 2 in offensive rating last year. This year, Trae Young is shooting like his rookie season. He 41% from the field, 30% from 3. He take the most shots on the team. So our offensive rating has dropped, even though our defensive rating has come up from 26 to 13. The offense is what's really killing us. And like I was telling the homies, if Trae Young will limit the threes, last night he was 8 for 22, but he was 3 for 10 from 3. I said if he cut them threes down, his percentage goes up. So offensively, Trae Young is really hurting us. And like I say, we Trae Young dependent. Nate McMillan, he doesn't have no offensive plays. All we do is high pick and roll, and you saw what
My
happened.
turn.
Yep, that's all we do. Nate McMillan also an old school coach, so in crunch time, it's like he just relies on the stars. Here, get the ball, ISO, do what you got to do instead of, hey, let's get everybody involved. Because like I told her, if you get everybody involved, it makes us a more dangerous team.
Right.
And it don't help that Trey is probably one of the worst defenders in the NBA, which hurts us on the back end because we got to do all that switching and boom, but
Question, brother. What do Hawks fans feel about that Luka and what you call a trade and trade now?
It depends on what day you ask them. If you ask them like after a loss and it's we should have kept Luka. If we rolling, we love trade. Woo woo. I see it like this, man. I see it like this. Trey, I do like Trey. I'm gonna admit this. Luka is the better basketball player, point hands down. We know this. I mean, everybody know this. Right. But I do like Trey because he fits the Atlanta Hawks. Because no matter what he does, people still hate on him. Just like the Hawks, we go to conference finals, people still hate on us, and it's like we always got something to prove. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted to keep Luka Doncic. Everybody know that. Everybody in the Hawks world know I want to keep Luka. I didn't even want to draft Trae Young, but he here. I'm gonna roll with him. I fuck with him. You feel me? So, but yeah, Luka is the better player. But I would love to see Trae Young if he was 6'5" instead of
6'5".
That year when y'all made that trade, people were trying to tell me that it was a good trade. I was watching Luka the year before, and I was like, they're gonna live to regret that trade, bro.
I don't know. When Atlanta was in the ECF, everybody was like, man,
what though? Our general manager at the time, what he did, remember, because next year the number one pick was Zion. So what we did, Dallas made an offer we couldn't refuse. Travis Link team ran the analytics. We already knew we was going back to the lottery. We was trying to increase our lottery chances. The only thing that happened was we ended up picking 8 and 10 instead of trying to get the number one there. That's why we got Reddish.
I forget who jumped up that year, Minnesota. But here's the thing.
Memphis.
Memphis.
And New Orleans. Memphis and New Orleans pushed everybody back.
My beef with Trae Young is more about maturity. And I take you to last play of the regular time before overtime, right? He comes down, gets a shake move, scores the bucket, falls down. He jumps up and starts screaming at the bench. He was on the baseline for almost a split second or two. Then he doesn't. By the time he realizes they're not going to call timeout, he's now trailing the play, and he's part of the reason that they got the open three to hit the shot. So I think I think he needs to grow up a little bit.
And you know what? That's funny, Ghetto, because that's
I got some breaking news real quick. Hey, Demar, I got some news real quick. It ain't nothing about the NBA. It's about our homies. GLO Mavs last night hit 1,000 subscribers. So hey, 1,000 subscribers last night. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so we trying to get all our homies up to like 1,000 subscribers or beyond. So YouTube can start paying for StreamYard and all that stuff that we be paying for out of pocket. So congratulations for them if they watching. I'm gonna send a message out there to them. You know what I'm saying? Probably super chat them once they get linked up, man. But congrats to them. Hey, D, go ahead. I just want to share that with everybody, man.
Oh no, I was gonna say what Ghetto said. I said the same thing in the post game live last night. I said he scored the bucket. He don't know what the hell he do, but he does it all the time. He do it all the time. He always one of the last ones back across half court on defense. You know what I'm saying? But what can the coach do? He can't really enforce it because I think our issue, we got front office issues also. If y'all didn't know our president of basketball operations, he just quit out of the blue.
I thought he got put down.
Yeah, I thought he got canned. He quit.
Nah.
You have Landry Fields now, right?
Landry Fields is now the general manager, but our president of basketball operations is the owner's son who has no experience. So
the owner's son.
Y'all about to be in that Knicks situation.
Yeah, we got to go through some good shit real fast. So.
Yeah, that game last
I'm already looking at the lottery already. It ain't even an All-Star break.
Yo, I wouldn't even wish it. I wouldn't wish it on my worst. And yo, man, I hope that work out for y'all.
It probably won't, but you know, you been a Hawks fan the longest, B. Hey, this one of the good years. Why you bullshitting? Shit.
True.
Everything I'm hearing sounds like
and it's a good year. It's the good year for the Knicks too. Don't let us fool you, bro.
Yeah,
us, man. It really is.
You listen to some fans, you think this is the worst year ever.
That game, man. That game.
I ain't gonna lie to you. In terms of Atlanta on the floor, bro. My beef with Atlanta on the floor is that they are very low IQ and situationally low IQ, right?
Yeah.
Like I talked about the Bowl thing. Bowl, a 7 foot whatever dude catching the ball at the logo and dribbling to the paint and dunking. Right. That should never. It's like Boban grabbing the ball at the logo and dunking. That should never happen. And then two, when I watch the Hawks, and I think, and I don't want to blame Nate, but I'm gonna blame Nate for stuff like this. In transition, I don't care who the point guard is. If you're the point, you have to stop the ball early so the defense behind you can get set and get their eyes on the ball early so that teams can't just do odd man rushes at the rim where your defense has to rotate and then they kick out to a wide open 3-point shooter. Right? As soon as I saw the Hawks do this, I was like, that's the same thing that Tibbs was fussing with the Knicks about not picking up the ball early in transition, right? Or say, for instance, you make a basket, right? And they take the ball out, right? But others are on the floor, are so busy with stuff going on, anyway, celebrating, doing a little thing. Oh, I'm hot. I'm all this stuff. Meanwhile, the other point guard is bringing the ball down the floor.
But
trying to figure out a way to penetrate.
That's not with Trae Young, though. That's not with Trae Young, though, man.
You're right.
That's what we'll be saying. But you know, when I say that, you know, you've been on our show, Freezie. When I say something about Trae Young, everybody be getting on my ass, man. So
because he's a star. Because he's a star. You can't say
everybody get on my ass when I say something about Trae. You know, hey, you seen it? My boy Matt, when he said he don't even care if Trae play defense. You heard him.
Said it, bro. And he meant
you
that
heard him. I mean, hey, it is.
Yo, and it's weird. It's weird to hear, like for instance, since I've been watching NBA basketball, the Atlanta Hawks have consistently, annually, has one of the most physically gifted rosters in the league. Does that always equate to winning? No, of course not. Right? But there is no point in time that I can remember where the Hawks didn't have a Doc Rivers, Tree Rollins, Kevin Willis, Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb, Mookie Blaylock, Steve Smith, Stacey Augmon, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith. They always have physical talent. Like right now, one of the most athletic dudes in the NBA is John Collins. The talent is there. Always in Atlanta. Atlanta always has athletes, it seems like, in my mind.
We just can't get stuff that match, man. We can't
Right.
get stuff to match up, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Demon. Last night's game, that game was crazy, man. Atlanta didn't show no quit at all. They almost forced a third overtime.
Man,
Until that winning bucket by Kevin Newton.
F them, like I Freezie heard me last night. F them niggas, man. F that. I'm done with moral victories, bro. Why we giving up 52 points in the first half? That's what I need to know.
Right.
You take the team away, famine is the same.
Free Keith, this is what I'm saying.
I love it.
Hey, Freezie, you know I ain't even been asleep yet.
What?
No, I ain't go to sleep. That's how I was heated last night.
I did that basketball last night.
That's how we felt. That's how we felt after the Luka game, man. That's how we felt after the Luka game.
Man, they IQ low as hell. They stupid.
Right. And Freaky, this is what I was gonna say to you, bro. I did a show with the Sacramento Kings dudes like a year and a half ago, right? And they talk just like us. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The Kings, I'm telling you, the dudes, they sound just like all of us. And I was like, but y'all always have a point guard. And it was like, that's it. We always just have a point guard and nobody else.
And
That's
y'all finally
Sacramento Kings fans.
Y'all finally got a point guard.
Right.
We got y'all been, in my opinion, we got a couple,
right? But y'all got some pieces though, man. You got Brunson, Barrett, Mitch.
Don't tell these guys that.
Yeah,
don't tell these guys that. You let these guys tell it. We got trash. Like we got middle of the road trash that you let these guys tell it.
We have a team. We have a team that can compete very well for, you say what, a basketball game is 48 minutes. I think we'll give you 42, 43 minutes of hell. It's iffy the last 5 or 6. And that's what I need management to fix.
Because we'll have a star. We don't have a star.
Like DeMar.
That's where the star. That's where that last piece come in.
My bad, but like DeMar.
A perennial all-star type player?
Maybe a fringe all-star. Fringe.
Ooh.
We need
Barrett was what?
Like RJ is the type to make like 2 or 3 all-stars scattered across his career, but he's never going to be the guy that makes 8 or 9 in a row, if that makes sense to you. Like,
I feel you.
He's fringe. But to talk about like how what Dedo Intellect says we give teams 42 minutes of hell, it kind of lends back to Tibbs being an old school coach. We'll play we'll play one way the entire game and then switch to straight ISO ball the last 4 or 5 minutes. That makes it easier to defend. And then that's why we struggle towards the ends of games. We'll have a ton of ball movement, and then we'll go to Randle ISOs to close out a game, which makes sense.
In fairness,
go ahead.
In fairness, the defense changes. These guys who've been kind of half-assing for the last 40 minutes, they not doing that no more. The schemes, coaches got a scheme that could really get the ball out of a couple players' hands. They're not going to use it in the first, second, and third quarter. They don't care. They want to keep the game close. They throw it out the last 3 minutes. Now you're like, oh, we ain't seen this all game. It's not just Tibbs just does that because it's him trying to. It's because we're missing that one guy that can get over any hump. That's
right.
We one piece away. That's all right.
But the thing about the one piece away thing is on a team that has 3 dudes that average just about 20 points a game. Right, where are you going to add a 4th piece to 3 dudes that average 20 points?
So one of them might have to go. That's fine. Like, but
so that means piece away.
No, it's gotta hurt to heal, bro. It's gotta hurt to heal. Like cats think that we're gonna be able to just get rid of scraps and just get somebody great. It's just not gonna happen like that.
Bro, I bet you. I bet you.
It's gonna. Right now it's gonna sting
for Hunter right now. Bro.
Yeah. For who?
Hunter, DeAndre Hunter. They would do it right now and be like, that's all you want? That's how much we respect RJ Barrett game right now because he's not flashy.
DeAndre Hunter is not going to make this Knicks team a better team.
If you replaced him with RJ, no.
No, not at all.
If you added him to the team without giving up anything, which is unrealistic, then yeah.
Quietly, I'd like.
Hunter can't give you 70 games a season. So
right, he's always hurt.
Yeah, really been
always hurt. And he don't hit the boards neither. So,
right.
Here's the thing that makes me nervous about RJ. Last night's game. Did we really miss him?
No. And the reason we did
that
can't be said for Randle, and that can't be said for Brunson. That can't be said for Randle ever, and that can't be said for Brunson.
We won games without both of them before, though. It's like you can't just use one game as an outlier, as an indication that he's not needed or not necessary.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. When Brunson's not there, Quickly has to play 51 minutes. We missed them.
Yeah,
when Mitch is not when oh God, if Randle wasn't there, I don't even want to think about that. Forget that. Randle's not there, then what?
They put in Fournier because remember this guy went 51 minutes because Tibbs didn't play anyone off the bench.
But Dre, you got to do me a favor though, Dre. You got to respond to what I'm saying. You're moving the goalposts. All I'm saying is factually. RJ wasn't there last night. We didn't miss him, and then you kind of support my argument. Was like, damn, RJ was out. We put Fournier in. And let me shut up.
No, I'm saying you mentioned playing 51 minutes. The reason he did that is because Tibbs didn't go to his bench at all. That's why.
You know, you keep going with that Tibbs argument. I gotta let you have it. I just want you to hear. No, right?
I'm not blaming Tibbs. I'm just saying he didn't go to the bench.
No.
I don't think there was anything there.
No.
Y'all having two different conversations.
You came up with 3 different Tibbs complaints in this one conversation. One, we talked about needing a star. You said, no, we don't need a star. I blame Tibbs, what he does down the stretch. I then said, you say we didn't miss Brunson, but played 51 minutes. I disagree with you that Fournier can replace Brunson. Fournier can replace RJ is what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying is no one is replacing anyone. I'm saying spot minutes to make sure your current rotation doesn't die out on the court is what he was out there for.
Now
he was replacing production. It was just he was out there for 10 minutes.
Let me give you this real quick.
The overall
fact. I listened to the minutes conversation. We're going to need more facts. There is facts against Tibbs that it possibly didn't work. He could have hurt Derrick Rose in his career. Listen, we hired this man, though. We can't say we hired him and then complain, and this is who he's been. So management is as much responsible as Tibbs. That's the amount least responsible.
Oh, like what I'm saying is I'm not looking at it in the macro. I'm looking at it in the micro. I'm just speaking about this particular stretch. I'm not talking about as the overarching theme of Tibbs or anything. I was just talking about the last 3-4 games. That's it.
Bro.
Like,
the overall point, he coached the same way, and RJ's production was replaceable. That's a thing.
But that is, you have to admit, it's a short. It's not really a large sample. You know what I mean?
No, not a large sample size.
Over time, we would miss the only wing that our coach is really gonna play. We would miss that. We would miss that after a while. We would.
Right over time, we would.
Yeah.
I'm in a minority. I'm in a minority with this, but I like the starting line that I saw last night. I'd like to see RJ come off as a 6-man.
Oh, see what I'm talking about? I see what I'm talking about the RJ thing.
All right, man. You can do that until you run into teams that have 6'8", 6'9" wings, man. And we have nobody to check
doesn't help us with 6'8", 6'9".
If you bring in DeMar DeRozan, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
We should have got DeMar DeRozan. I don't even want to go there. That's another mistake while we're in purgatory.
That's what we should have got. But this is the same conversation I be having with Rel. With Rel and King Kyle.
Mitchell, man. Like that's
everybody.
Crazy.
Well, part of it I blame Danny Ainge. He really didn't want to reward Mitchell. He wanted us to pay through the nose to reward Mitchell. And I think Rose and those guys are hard enough to say, yo, really? There's a Knicks tax? Yeah, we're not paying a Knicks tax.
But you don't think say you did pay the Knicks tax. You wouldn't think it'd be worth it?
Yes, no.
In hindsight.
Hindsight, yeah.
Absolutely.
They wanted. You saw the package that they wanted. You saw what they wanted.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Let Free Keith say what they wanted, and I'm gonna try not to laugh.
What you mean, dude? Like the package included Mitch. It was Mitch, IQ, RJ, and Grimes. Like all of that. Like and 3 unprotected. Mitch would have been in it. What do you mean? That's what it was stated.
Free Keith, that's not true. Mitch could not be in it because he signed a contract during the summer.
Mitch was a part of the very first offer.
60 days after he signed his contract. That's
he
why
was part of the very first deal.
The
That was the very first offer. The very first offer included Mitch.
He was not included. He was an unrestricted free agent.
Freezie. The truth is, in the very
he would have been a sign and trade, bro. Like, but it included Mitch.
You got to say
it included. But it included Mitch. They wanted Mitch.
The first offer, it was reported. The first offer the Knicks made was RJ, Mitch, and Obi plus 3 unprotected, and Danny Ainge said no. We offered that on day one, and what we did is we put an ultimatum down that day. It was like a Friday, and then on Monday, you remember that we signed Mitch, like immediately out of nowhere, we had signed Mitch, and we did the same thing with RJ, and that's what pissed off Danny Ainge. He's like, okay, so you make me the offer when Friday, we gave him the ultimatum. You got to let us know by Monday because we're going to re-sign RJ, just like they did with Mitch. They were trying to play the same game, sign it or we're going to sign him. Or take the offer, we're going to sign him. He didn't do it again. And that's when Danny Ainge was like, fine.
All right, so let me clarify, bro. You can't trade unrestricted free agents. And I understand where y'all going about the sign and trade and all of that stuff. So my stance was the reason why I said it wasn't going to work is because you can't trade unrestricted free agents. And then after that, you can't trade a recently signed player for 60 days. And that's why the December 15th guideline is there. So the whole thing, as soon as Mitch signed a contract, Mitch is out of all these trade talks that y'all were talking.
Right.
Unless they wanted to do a sign and trade, which is not as easy, it's not as whimsical, like it's not fleeting like what people think. Sign and trades are difficult to pull off. That's why you don't see them that often during the summer.
The first offer with Mitch came literally a couple of days before they made the offer. They made the offer, and then they signed Mitch a couple of days after that.
Mitchell, New Yorker, right?
No.
Mitch? No.
Mitch is from
He's from Louisiana. He's from Louisiana.
No,
he's from Louisiana.
No,
he's from Louisiana.
No, he's from Florida. He played high school basketball his junior and senior year in Louisiana.
He don't have no New York.
He keeps saying he's from Louisiana.
My bad.
Yeah, he from Florida. He from North Florida and went to Chalmette High School.
I think they're confusing Donovan Mitchell and Mitch Robinson because Donovan Mitchell is from
What's his contract? How many years left on his contract?
He signed 4 years.
It's fresh. It's 4.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
Damn.
But it's front loaded. It's front loaded. So he making the most money right now, and then it's descending the rest of the way.
Does Mitch seems like his confidence is growing every game. Every single game, it looks like his
he's a whole new player, yo.
He made a no-look pass, bro. He made a no-look pass.
He even tweeted about it. Hey, F y'all, I made a no-look.
Hey, D, for the record, bro, for the record, I think, the Knicks do have value pieces like most NBA franchises. Most NBA franchises have value pieces, right? That one team on the outside looking in says, man, our team would look vastly different with that type of player. It's how we feel about Trae Young, or some of us feel about Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? Or people in general. Like when we talk Mavs, bro, you think they wouldn't put Luka and Trae Young together?
That shit wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work.
That wouldn't
work.
But both of them, they too ball dominant, man.
Right.
That would not work.
Right.
And Trae definitely ain't gonna work in New York with Tibbs as the coach because he don't play defense.
And Brunson.
But do you see Trae Young coming to New York and leaving Atlanta, Demond?
Nope.
Exactly. Same with Luka Doncic. He wouldn't leave Dallas to come to the Knicks.
But Luka.
There's rumblings. There's rumblings in Dallas that Luka is not happy. That they got to make some moves. They got to make some moves.
Trae Young ain't happy.
Trae Young,
that's
we done everything for his little ass. His ass ain't everything he done asked for, he done got. So what he need to do was shoot shoot the ball better. That's what the hell he need to be worried about. He only be worried
Shot
about shit.
selection is
I'm
absurd.
looking at Luka becoming a target by 2023 draft pick if they don't do nothing, yo.
I'm interested in that DeAndre Hunter thing though.
Shit, I'm interested in Zion.
Nah,
I'm waiting for him to become a free agent.
Ain't gonna make this.
Hey, so you notice, Knicks fans, you notice that the Hawks conversations sound eerily similar.
Just like
They sound just like us. I jumped on the joint last night. I thought I was on the Knicks at Night podcast, bro.
And you
Your
lucky
cats
see,
is yelling, cutting each other off.
well, that's because Freezie.
People mad.
That's because I go to the garage first.
Right.
Then I come on the show. I didn't go to the garage. I was so mad last night. That's why I did all that.
Free Keith don't know nothing about that therapy. He don't know nothing about I don't know nothing about therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Something's going on with my tablet. The camera's backwards, but I want to turn my camera on and make a face so bad.
My bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I take my medication before.
No, it's actually Freezie. He's trolling. You got to understand as you get to know Freezie, when you're having a conversation with him, and he goes and say, "Yeah, because Free Keith and Gi, I don't know." That means we had a conversation about it.
and these my dogs right here. You know what I'm saying?
He's always trying to be 4 steps ahead of everybody and pull us along. It really is. It really is a monopoly over here. People think they're over here thinking freely. They're not. They're in the matrix, but it's okay. It's a great place to be.
He talking about the matrix.
Hey, I can't front, man. I be doing the same thing, man. I'll be doing the same.
You're a content creator, right? You got to.
But that young cat, Atlanta analyst, is that his name?
Oh yeah,
that
the young
cat,
dude,
yo,
young cat.
He will not. He come with like that Memphis heat, that sweet heat, that Bobby. Like he'll say some stuff, and it's like you don't really get the heat because he's so young. You don't really get the heat of it until you think like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he
all
only.
right, big fella, I see where you going.
Yeah, analyst's only 15.
Damn.
Yeah, young cat.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you know
man.
Gerald Sports. Gerald's been with us for a while too. Gerald Sports has been over in the Knicks space for a while. He's a hard man.
But yeah, so y'all don't want to get rid of Randle, huh?
No.
Wow.
You sure?
Wow. Yeah, yo, I was told that nobody wanted Randle. I was told
State
that
told you that
nobody wanted Randle, and that all the Knicks fans thought so, and that nobody wanted Randle. And come to find out that even last year, Cats wanted Randle. Wow.
Man, I bet you the Mavs would give us everything we want for Randle, except
I'm always.
You know who would want Randle too? We would if he wasn't on the Knicks.
If he wasn't on the Knicks, we would want him. And you know what? When he wasn't on the Knicks, we paid him to come here.
But I mean,
we would be like, who would we put next to RJ?
Hey, did y'all get mad at Randle due to his contract, or what was it last year and the year before that?
The regression. He regressed.
It was a tsunami.
They never forgave him. They never forgave him for not being KD like Mills and Stephen A. promised them.
No, that's what. But come on, Keith. We could go into the playoffs. The playoffs. He shot 23% from the field, 17 from 3. Like it was what he did. What he put on the court. It was what he did on the court. It was what he did on the court.
Wasn't there?
Yo,
even if you ain't have no help, you can't shoot 23%, fam. Like, come on.
Catch was hating him well before that. What do you mean? Yeah. It was the best season of his career. The best season of his whole career here on the Knicks. And what was the chance? Sell high. Stop it. Come on, stop.
That was state.
Stop.
Hey, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, dag y'all, we may become a 4-5-4 team. Oh my God. Oh my. But you know what though? But Free Keith, you talking about what State say. State is one of them dudes that think you
he better be pulling up. I'm not saying his name unless he's pulling up. I know what you're doing.
What you saying? You think I'm setting you up? If you wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't even brought the State name up. But he the one to think if you tank, you can win a championship in 4 years.
State if you out there, pull up. I'm not saying your
Randle,
name unless you pull up.
The problem with Randle is how he was playing. It was about what was going on the court. He was the worst teammate we had ever seen in the history of New York Knicks franchise. That's what the problem was. We saw a guy who would not help his teammates up. We saw a guy who would not celebrate with the team when they won. He'd walk off angry as if someone had as if we had lost. And
who was your starting point? Who was your starting point guard January 3rd?
You know what I saw?
January 3rd, 2022. Who's your starting point guard last year?
Elf, wasn't it?
No. He was
Wait, who was the starting point guard?
Kemba Walker.
It was
Kemba.
It was Alec Burks.
Oh,
it was Alec Burks.
That speaks to the coach.
Oh yeah, you said January.
I'm bugging. So a lot of this stuff that we blame Randle for, we saying that Randle had the worst season of his career. The whole team regressed. The whole team was bad.
Whole team.
And we blaming Randle for the whole season? That's crazy.
I was watching RJ having bad games, this guy having bad games, and dudes circling back around to blame Randle for their bad game.
Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't about blaming Randle for losses. It was about blaming Randle for not being the leader we hoped he'd be. It wasn't about being the player. He was a player who got numbers. He just wasn't a leader at all. We saw a guy, like I said, he was just the worst teamate we had ever witnessed. That was his problem. Right, we remember the guy.
You know what I saw?
I saw a dude.
I saw a dude who was emotional and was a sore loser. That's what I saw.
Right.
He was a sore winner. He was a sore winner.
That dude was very much disappointed in his own performance, and you could see it. Fans was trying to make up all kind of stuff like, oh, he hates RJ. He's jealous of RJ. There's locker room discourse.
That's noise. I'm talking about like the honest, the intelligent fan would know and saw, and you guys agreed with this. Randle he had some issues going on mentally that no one knew what they were going to get out of him from minute to minute on the court.
Hey, Ivory, let me ask you this then. Who stepped up when Randle was down? Name them.
We didn't.
Last year, that time.
Last year, we didn't have any players. Nobody. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him for losses.
Off of his game, nobody else stepped up, right?
True.
So we still gonna blame Randle because the entire team was bad.
You're talking about a different thing than I am, I believe.
Yeah, that's not. Y'all not having
blaming him for wins and losses.
No, I know. I think
I'm not expecting him to win by himself. I'm not expecting him to be
the other. One thing drove the other.
I'm referring to what we really needed from him, which is a leader. We had a very young team. We have a very young team still. We needed him to just be a leader, to be the camaraderie guy, the guy he was the year before.
Right, because Taj Gibson was young. Well, Alec Burks was young. Because Nerlens Noel was young. Because Alec Burks was young. Because Kemba Walker was young. Because
these guys were not leaders. These guys were not leading the team.
I feel like the frustration.
He pinning it on Randle.
8 seasons.
I'm talking about Randle's behavior. Randle's behavior.
At that point, he's been in the league for 8 seasons. He's never had a history of that. This is his first time leading a team. I looked at him as being frustrated at his own performance, and not being able to treat that well. Yes,
right.
It translated. Yep. That's really what it was, and it looked like his teammates and everyone else understood that.
And nobody could pick up
the slack. Nobody.
Right.
So it just got worse.
It just snowballed. I
think the Knicks fans were so mad at Julius Randle. The Knicks fans were so mad at Julius Randle and frustrated with him because they were expecting him to do more than what he was really ever supposed to do, especially coming off a season where he dominated. You feel me? So a lot of fans were expecting him to turn it up an extra notch, but that's reality. That wasn't it. As well as Julius Randle being frustrated as his, performance. So
Randle was turning the ball over more. He was assisting. I mean, he was
Randle,
a disaster.
Randle had the same expectations. He had the same expectations.
Let them on say something.
Hey, on Randle, right after his the best season he had with y'all, the following season, did y'all think he could be a number one option?
No, never.
No,
we never had that impression.
No, because I wasn't following y'all. I was on the other Knicks channel, and it seemed like to me that people was expecting him to be like this number one option.
Well, in commercial, we not
that matched his contract. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, but the thing,
wait,
technically,
technically, he doesn't really have a number one option contract though.
He's not paid like one, but the thing is, Tibbs used him as a number one option, and he performed. He performed as one. He performed as a number one option.
Did you know that John Collins makes more money than Julius Randle?
Well, that's only because Collins signed his contract late, and we didn't trade
this year, not next year though. Not next year, right? Not next year.
No, Randle's contract starts this year. He makes
Collins at $24 million next year.
Right, and Randle makes 23.5 right now.
Oh.
That's because Randle signed his deal before John, though. He signed his deal like a year before, 2 years before John.
Yeah, he got it. Like we signed him basically.
Yeah, it's like when you sign, it's like when you sign quarterbacks. The latest quarterback always got the highest contract.
Yeah. But I say that I say that with this in mind. For a dude to be the number one option, Julius Randle is probably the cheapest number one option in the NBA right now. The cheapest. Right? Most teams, I'm talking about teams that are legit trying to win.
He's not
because the lottery, even Shea Gilgeous-Alexander make more than him.
Yeah,
right?
Shay's making the max right now.
SGA too.
But just because he's the Knicks' number one option doesn't mean he's a real number one option, I guess is what we're trying to say, right, fellas? Because we know
we got room for somebody better.
A number one option is a guy you give the ball to in the last 6 minutes of the game, and that's exactly where the New York.
You know what a substitute teacher is? You know what a substitute teacher is? A teacher. So until somebody come in and take over the classroom, the substitute teacher is the teacher. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I know we hate it. I ain't trying to go at Ivory like that, man. But
here's the problem. Here's the problem, Freezie, when you think that way, though, because that's when you get the mindset, oh, he's got to act like a number one. He's got to perform like a number one. Well, the truth is, he's really not one. We have to be honest with ourselves, you know?
Like, I temper my expectations of him because of how he's paid. Same for RJ. Same for everyone on the team.
If the Knicks don't have a number one, they want Randle to be the number one, and if he performed like the number three, what would y'all be saying then?
I wish he's better, but it's like
that's what he's done.
It's like you're in the car with your parents and you like, I want McDonald's, but we got McDonald's at the house. I mean, you're gonna just be happy with, like, come on. You can have expectations.
It's still a juicy burger. It's still a juicy burger.
Bro, what I'm saying is Knicks fans, only Knicks fans have this mindset that a kid out here averaging 24, 10, and 4 on 48% shooting from the floor, right? On the worst team since the year 2000, right? Only Knicks fans will say, he is not good enough.
I got John Collins waiting for you, Freezie. I got Collins for you right now, bro.
I know, but when John Collins John Collins gonna come here and he gonna get the Randle treatment.
We looking for Crowder.
As soon as he get here, he gonna get the Randle treatment, bro.
He's gonna get it.
Thank you for Jen's contribution.
I don't care what happened.
Randle is Brunson's toy soldier. Let's him go until all right.
But the thing, Freezie, I wanted my fault. Demo, but I wanted to. The thing is that we're all intelligent fans, so the thing that lets us down is the up and down nature of Randle. Because when he first came here, he had an awful year. Then he had a great year. Then he had an awful year. Then he had a great year. If we knew what to expect every single night or a baseline performance, people wouldn't even be up and down or upset. People would just know what to expect. How many
coaches he had during that time?
Yo, like I was just about to say that. Like, you got coaches using him, you got coaches using him incorrectly. Fizz, what did Fizz say? Like, he's trying to turn him into James, what's his name? Into LeBron. Like,
wasn't even using him. Randle was Marquise Morris's wingman. Marcus Morris was the number one guy, and Randle was the second guy. When Marcus Morris left, you saw Julius Randle's efficiency skyrocketed. skyrocketed. Right? Then Randle came into the next season with a full season without Marcus Morris, and the Knicks made the playoffs with the same supporting cast. With Marcus Morris, we sucked. Without Marcus Morris and Julius Randle as a head guy, we made the playoffs. Nobody speaks to that.
And he even looked better. He even looked better after. This is second year.
What do you got? 2 more years to go on the contract?
On this contract? No, this is first.
No, it's 4. It's his first year. He got 4 more.
He got okay.
He got 3 more.
All right.
It's not 3. It's 3 more after this one.
Yeah.
Y'all like that? I'm assuming y'all like that Brunson pickup, huh?
I would trade him for DeJounte Murray right now.
You're so disrespectful, yo. You're so disrespectful, Freezie.
I would, hey, bro.
I
would tell DeJounte Murray not even to pack his clothes. I was like, bro, don't even pack. I got my people headed your way right now.
The only problem with that trade, how that really hurts the Knicks, is we really need that little extra offensive one-on-one capability that Brunson brings that DeJounte Murray, I don't think, really has. That's the one area where I think we really need that offense that he brings.
Bro, can you imagine? Can you imagine
Brunson play
a defensive backcourt of Murray and Grimes?
That'd be nasty.
What y'all want for Grimes?
A ham sandwich.
Hey, look, give me. Hey, what you got? Give me 2 first.
I'm just messing around.
I take 2 first. I take 2 first for Grimes. I take that.
Hell no.
How you gonna do that? What if the first is down at 20 picks? Where
do we draft Grimes at?
21.
No, 25.
And so
25. 25 he was drafted at.
So for the record,
25.
So for the record, the Knicks never drafted Quentin Grimes.
We had the rights to him.
Quentin Grimes was drafted by the LA Clippers. And we traded for his rights.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, Freezie's just being
It's a fact.
That's semantics, man.
Now, I'm just saying. Now, my man asked, where did we draft quickly? It's like when people say, where did we draft Emmanuel Quickly? The Knicks didn't draft Emmanuel Quickly. We acquired him on a draft day trade with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, that's what kept trading back.
Yeah, every year we trade with the Thunder.
Hey, who had y'all draft?
We had to pick Duran. We had to pick Duran for what you call it, the draft for Detroit. Like that's who they wanted. Quickly is who we wanted. Like what?
Damon, this administration didn't draft RJ. This administration drafted Quickly, Grimes, and McBride and Sims. That's really their 4.
What? What? RJ wasn't drafted. He wasn't drafted by what y'all?
Nah. Steve Mills drafted RJ.
Not the current regime.
Who drafted?
Who was right before the year before?
And
Leon Rose.
OB.
Dre, how many players has Leon Rose actually drafted? How many players has he actually drafted?
OB.
4.
And Jericho Sims.
OB, Jericho Sims,
and Trevor
Grimes.
Jokic. Actually, have 5. Jokic, right?
Dudes.
No,
Ivory. My purgatory should look a little better.
But they didn't draft Deuce?
No, they didn't draft Deuce, and they didn't draft Joe Bias.
Freezie, like our scouting,
who drafted Deuce?
Its job. So
Oklahoma City, and we traded Jeremiah Robinson Earl to the Oklahoma City Thunder for the rights to Miles McBride and.
Okay, you being technical, but like they brought them in, like they
scouted them. We wanted them. They were Tibbs guys. We wanted them.
They weren't just making blind pickups.
I'm just saying I want to give them credit where the credit is due, but I also just want to make sure that for the record, man, we just being, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, somebody tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong on Quickly. Obviously, we were going after Maxey. I can't believe Maxey.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
We settled.
The whole NBA, it's mad teams that drop the ball on Maxey, right? But with that said, Maxey sliding to us out of nowhere Philly jumps 2 slots ahead of us, and they take Maxey.
Okay.
Next thing you know, we're kicking ourselves, right? Because we knew they was targeting that guy. The next thing that happens is John Calipari goes live and said to Knicks fans, don't worry about it. You're going to be okay. Quickly is as good as Maxey. Calipari, once Maxey got drafted, Calipari got on the phone with Rose and them, was like, don't worry. I know y'all wanted Maxey. Quickly is as good.
Right. He also said something about Kevin Knox.
Yeah, he's a used car salesman. He's a used car salesman.
Like he's just trying to get his guys drafted. Like,
so he can get his guy drafted, so he can keep getting them top draft picks.
Yeah.
I mean, them top college guys, so he can say, "Look, all my guys go in the first round. I get 6 guys in each first round."
Look, man, there's the reason why William Wesley is here.
That dude
There's the reason why William Wesley's here.
out.
Hey, how come y'all not playing Cam Reddish, man?
Oh boy!
How much to
boy!
send Cam back? How much to send Cam back?
Yo,
you know what?
Wait, what's the word? Wait! What's the word on Cam from over there? Well, what was y'all saying about Cam?
We was actually high on Cam Reddish. I believe the only reason he asked for a trade is because he knew he wasn't going to get an opportunity that he wanted, and his contract was coming up. And I think he wanted a payday. So I think he was looking for an opportunity to go somewhere to showcase his ability and skills to where he can get the deal that he wanted. Because when he was with us, if you go back, Eastern Conference Finals, man, he was one of the dudes who gave us a spark. He came off the bench. Right. He was letting that bad boy fly.
Yeah, he was balling.
If you look, and I hate to do it, but in high school, I had to go back. I went back and I looked at him in high school. He was dominant. He was 6'9", point guard, doing everything. Obviously, when he got to Duke, I told the boys in the chat, I was like, he can't shoot. He's not a good 3-point shooter. He didn't shoot a good percentage in college from three.
And it was wide open.
Yeah,
wide open.
But at the time, we didn't know he had at Duke. He had an abdominal tear, and we didn't know that. Until after,
but you know what? We knew it, and we still drafted him. That's why he didn't play summer league that year. But then the following summer league, he didn't play neither because he had another injury. So he only really had one full off season of actually doing shit. But we was high on him. I still like Cam Reddish. I think he still need to get an opportunity. I thought
Cam
he probably
has a low motor. Cam is an NBA bust.
It wasn't.
Man, I mean, Demond, I ain't gonna hold you. I'll trade Cam Reddish for McGriddle in Arizona.
And you know what? Or you can do like us, and we just let Kevin Knox ass leave.
That's exactly what they're gonna do to Cam. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, no, Cam's out. He's just gonna walk.
And the funny thing about Knox is I saw Knox and Killian Hayes balling one night for the Pistons. And I was like, where was this aggressive Kevin Knox when we had him? He contesting people at the rim, taking people off the dribble. And then I looked like a week later to check the box score, see if he was still balling. 4 points, nope. one to 4 from the floor. You like, yo, come on, man. This dude is.
Last time I seen Killian Hayes, he was sucker punching somebody in the back of the head, knocking him out. That was
knocking him out cold, bro.
I mean, he did get like shoved into a bench though for no reason.
Yeah, he did get hip tossed.
Yeah.
Those French players, man, they mad aggressive, yo. Remember when Frank pushed LeBron?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but isn't that we're gonna get rid of? Aren't we looking to trade IQ for that same reason?
What I find ironic is that the New York Knicks, the Atlanta Hawks, we got these old school coaches, man. Right. And I think maybe like I don't know like the Tears, but I know over there with us, man, with Coach Nate McMillan, I think he kind of like a dinosaur. Kind of. Right. I think we need to get a young coach.
These guys wanted Nate McMillan.
You know what,
No.
Nate McMillan, I ain't gonna front, man. Nate McMillan, he a good, what you call it? What you call it?
Floor raiser. Floor raiser.
You get that coach who get you to that.
Hey, Pete, what you smoke? You bugging.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yo,
You can't get you up with
They're
you
literally having the same conversations.
Hey, let me do this real comparison, Doug. Thank you for the generous contribution. Arizona says IQ is as good. Tibbs would have held back Maxey also. I agree. I think Tibbs,
IQ was never held back. He's been playing 20 minutes from his first year. That's not held back.
He was never held back.
But Maxey has been playing 30 plus minutes since his rookie year.
Good. Maxey's better. Let's be honest. Maxey's
better.
He is better.
So Maxey is better. But I just want to mention this though. Just because minutes doesn't equate to role. Just because you play don't mean you're allowed to do stuff on the floor. Right? And I know when we play the game, it's like, yo, you know, if you out there, you should do something. But clearly you see Tibbs not wanting these kids. He did it to Quentin Grimes last year. He's like, no, I don't want you to initiate offense. I don't want you cutting to the basket. All I want you to do is spot up and shoot.
Freezie, you can even go to a game-to-game basis. IQ is way less aggressive when Brunson came back. He was just in the corner this last game, taking like spot up 3-pointers. Like he wasn't initiating offense nearly as much because Brunson is back. So there is something.
But he was on the floor though, right?
Yeah, he was on the floor for sure.
Right?
Exactly, but it's not the same thing. Yeah. So
I mean, did you guys know Maxey played less minutes than Quickly did in both of their rookie years? I mean,
and then what did they do the next year? What happened the next year?
When you shoot that good as a rookie, you should get more minutes, and he did, and he continued to play well. So
right, I like Maxey, bro. I think you're right about that. I just think he's better. I just don't think it's because of minutes.
How did Maxey fall so far? As well, I don't understand what these NBA execs is doing.
Size.
And I want to say, like Ivory, if you look at the roster for the Sixers, do you think like Maxey would have free reign to be as aggressive as he is if Tibbs had James Harden running the offense the entire time?
I hear that all the time, and you just never know, right? Sometimes I hear, well, when he's on a good team, he's going to score a lot, or he's on a bad team, he gets a lot of shots. I think if you can play, you can play. If you can shoot, you can shoot. Maxey is a better shooter. He's just
I'm saying he can play. I'm saying his role would probably be reduced if Tibbs had Harden and him at the same time.
IQ's had more freedom than anybody we've ever seen as a Knick, right? I mean,
that's what. Yeah, yes. I was waiting to say that. IQ had a large leash. Y'all can't remember when he was like he had a very large leash.
Like throwing up shots from half court. Nobody said a word.
From half court.
Bro, nobody had a greener light than RJ, bro. Nobody had a greener light with Tibbs than RJ Barrett, bro. Nobody.
I mean, but RJ was a top 3 pick, though. But like you're looking at somebody like IQ.
Freezie, you first said just because he had minutes don't mean his role, and now you're saying his light was amber. It wasn't even green.
So wait a minute. So you just said minutes, role, and green light, right? Those 3 things are different, right?
Yeah, but when we said when Ivory said, "What are you talking about? IQ had plenty of opportunity," you immediately stepped in and said, "Yeah, but role and opportunity, more role and minutes ain't the same." But he had role and minutes, IQ, while he played with us.
Right.
Immediately.
But you mentioned hold on, Drake. Hold on. But G.I., you just said RJ and Greenlight. So how does RJ Greenlight equate to the other stuff that you said? I'm just confused.
No. Don't try it, bro. Slow down. Let me unconfuse you.
No, I'm trying.
Let me unconfuse you, freaks, for real. Let me shut up.
I'm trying to
because what you just said wasn't what happened.
No. What I said is exactly what happened.
It's not free.
RJ Barrett had the greenest light of any young player that Tibbs has had.
So that's not how this conversation went. I'm gonna try this again. The conversation went. We were talking about Maxey, and then dropped the super chat, and he said Tibbs would have messed up Maxey. And then Ivory immediately said, no, you can't say that. IQ had plenty of opportunity. Maxey would have had the same. Well, IQ got plenty of minutes. And then before we got to speak again, you stopped and said minutes don't equate to role.
And
as if to say, right. And I agree with you on that.
Right.
I agree. And I thought that's where you were. So then I was questioning, I guess IQ didn't get to play with the ball in his hands, but he got to take his shot. So he did get a chance to prove who he was at a high end. If Maxey got the same opportunity that IQ got, he would have been showed that he was Maxey.
None of that. And so we don't disagree on any of that. But you stopped me about the RJ Barrett and green light.
No. IQ and green light. None about no IQ.
No,
RJ.
I never said IQ and green light.
Oh,
I said
how did you
RJ
get
Barrett
that?
and green
We were
light.
talking about.
I said RJ Barrett had the greenest light of any young player that Tibbs ever coached.
Oh, but we were talking about quickly versus Maxey. I missed.
No, I know. I said RJ Barrett had the greenest light. RJ Barrett. Not
I hear you
Quickly,
now,
not
but I'm
Maxey.
saying we were talking quickly versus Maxey, so I wasn't expecting RJ to be inside. My bad.
The thing that kind of throws all of this out is my fault.
Tibbs don't
Freezie,
even
but
reign in RJ Barrett, bro. He
Keep
don't
shooting.
even reign in RJ Barrett.
Keep
Sometimes
shooting.
you see RJ Barrett do stuff, and you like RJ Barrett. Why you driving to the lane, throwing up layups, or trying over 3 or 4 dudes at the rim?
RJ shoots more than Brunson. RJ shoots more than Brunson and Randle.
That's crazy.
Hey, you see that? Hey, you see that in the chat right there? That's hilarious, Freezie.
What's that?
The man said RJ was picked at number 3 because he played with Zion. If he was by himself, he'd be a second round pick.
That's a lie.
Man.
That's how y'all think of RJ? Hey, I give you
No,
that.
that's apparently false. Apparently false.
I give you
Because he was literally the number 1 prospect coming into college, and then he won ACC Player of the Year. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that, man.
I'll give you Bogdanovich for RJ Barrett right now, since he's a second round pick.
Oh my God.
the thing about opportunity, though, to get back to the IQ thing, no logical sane person would have started Alec Burks for 50-something games as a point guard.
We agree 100% on that. We agree 100% on that. I'm just saying nobody has really held IQ back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that the guy has had lots of opportunities. I've never seen a coach. I couldn't believe Tibbs was okay with him taking those, jumpers from like the logo, and it would be like 20 seconds on the shot clock. You're like, what is going on here?
Wait. Now I'm confused because last time he said that, then RJ came in. Are we talking IQ or RJ? I'm confused.
RJ. I mean IQ.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all real quick for Ivy. Do you think, because we had the same discussion with our rookies with AJ Griffin and Jalen Johnson, do you think that the front office is telling Tibbs, hey, this guy need to get some minutes because we invested in this guy? Because I think Tibbs and Nate McMillan, both being old school coaches, I don't think they like playing the younger players like that.
If that was the case, Cam would have played because they actually invested in the Cam.
I honestly think there's a complete separation. For the first time, I really started to really believe that there's a complete separation there, because I'm not saying there's a conflict. I just think there's a separation. Even when it came down to negotiating, I know this is off topic, but I'll come back and say, even when it came down to negotiating with Donovan Mitchell, they even had a separate dude outside of the organization do that. It wasn't even Leon Rose and his team that was doing that. They had some other dude. So I feel like they're keeping things kind of separate, and they're letting Tibbs do Tibbs. They're letting Tibbs coach the way he does. Clearly, there looks like a problem there when they go and give away a first-round pick to go get a guy from the guy we got from the Hawks, Reddick, and not play him. There seems like there's an issue there when you get a guy and not play him. And that's why I'm saying, to us, it looks like an issue, but I think for them, they're like, let Tibbs be Tibbs. They're not happy with that, I'm sure, but I think they're letting Tibbs do his job. I honestly think they're hands off.
They gotta meet weekly. And Dre, I'm gonna pass this back to you because Dre was on. I don't want to steal his thunder. They gotta meet weekly. They gotta meet monthly. They gotta meet quarterly. They've been at this since October. It's January. They've had to have some conversation like, we spent the first round draft pick for this guy. We could have let Kevin Knox walk for free. This guy looks like he's going to end up walking. There's got to be a valid explanation for Cam.
Why is Cam left out of these discussions, though? I think he gets away scot-free, as if that there's not a world in which maybe him and his people don't like the minutes that he got dropped down to, or this, that, and the other. There's nothing there that we can say that maybe it's Cam's people again.
If those conversations were really happening and there was real pressure from the front office, Cam would have played some last year. It's not like the team was good and we had played
none last year.
He was going to mess up the
Hey, give me 1 second. Shout out to Paris Duggar with the generous contribution in Super Chat. He says Maxey went 10 for 29 in their loss to us this year.
Right.
Thanks for that intel, Parrish.
I appreciate that, y'all.
We're all talking about how high of IQ, but IQ is only shooting 35% from three, I think, this month. And the first 2 months of the year, the first month and a half of the season, he was horrible. His numbers were horrible.
Yeah, but hold on. But let's stick to this Cam thing because I really am.
But the reason, what to answer your questions directly, no, I don't think they're having those conversations, because if Tibbs was getting any pressure to play Cam, he would have played him, and he really wasn't playing Cam until he had to, and then even then he took him away as soon as he could.
So here's why I'm
confused. Now there might be some trade talk happening and why he might not be playing when we need a guy, but I don't think he's a favorite of Tibbs, and I don't think Tibbs was feeling any pressure to play him. Certainly not last year, because he didn't play him at all. So.
But Cam forced his way out of Atlanta. I didn't know that he forced his way out. I thought both teams just said, we got these draft picks we're not using here, let's swap them. No, I didn't know Cam forced his way out, right? Mm-hmm. So if Cam forced his way out for opportunity and then got here this last year and didn't get the opportunity, why would Cam not try to force his way out of here this offseason? What the heck happened?
I don't blame him. What happened is what we were saying is I think there's a total split between what the front office is doing and what Tibbs will do. Right, and I'm telling you, the front office is like, hey, this is the perfect kind of wing. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is 6'8", long, athletic, can dribble, put it on the floor, shoot. And then he got here and Tibbs was like, no. And it's been no since that day. So I don't think there's.
Hey, you know what it was though.
He played him.
I know. Oh, he played him for real, but not like how you think. Oh, he definitely played Cam Reddish.
Yeah, he did.
Cam did.
But not how
he made him guard the hardest guy. Probably saved his job potentially. Put him on the toughest dude for a few weeks. Everybody was raving about him, and all of a sudden, boom, back to the bench.
And but there was a play in the Dallas Mavericks game, and I was going to talk to Rel and King Kai about it. They had a big, slow 5 in the game, and in the course of transition, it was Cam Reddish's man in transition until you get back and set up on defense. And that big, I think it was a dude named, I think it was like Bertans or somebody, right?
Yeah, Bertans. Yeah, they got
Bertans. Legit got the rebound, kicked it out to a guard, outran Cam Reddish down the floor. Cam was yelling to Mitch, yo, pick him up, while Cam was jogging up the floor. Tibbs looked at that, bro. And the Mavs got the dude that beat Cam down the floor got a dunk. Tibbs jumped up and went and got somebody off the bench, and you ain't seen Cam Reddish since. You ain't seen Cam Reddish
that old school mentality, just like you were saying your coach does, where it's like, hey, if he's not my kind of guy, I'm not playing him. And I think that's just what he is,
Right. Yeah, it was Tibbs right for benching him. Tibbs was right for benching him right there. Because in transition, if you're a wing player, you can't be lazy. That's your job. And you ain't seen Cam since, bro. And I don't think you're going to ever see Cam. Not as long as Tibbs is breathing, bro. Stuff like that, Cam Reddish ain't never getting back on the floor.
The problem that I see with Cam is you get a chance to play with Jalen Brunson. You know this guy's going to pound the rock into the ground. I never saw Cam do any sophisticated backdoor cuts, any using of he only wants to get it off the bounce with the guy in front of him. I don't know that works. I don't as a secondary ball handler, he's not going to be the leader of any team no time soon. He's got to get his off a slasher, and Cam just doesn't look like he's motivated to move without the ball.
Right, man. Yeah, I think I agree.
Cam is individually talented. I feel like he's just not with the system.
Man, he's just a DeMar Johnson, bro. Like, there's a lot of guys that are talented. Anthony Randolph. Like, there's talented guys that don't have it up top, and that's really what it is. And they don't have consistency, and they can be replaced.
I believe Kevin Knox was one of them too. His was just a little different. Knox was just one of them kids. Said some kids grow up too quiet and they'll never come out of their shell. I just think Knox just stayed in his shell, man.
Knox just had slow feet. His feet were just too slow. I mean,
Knox never gave me the impression that he was really kind of messing with basketball, really.
I think he loved basketball. I just think he's just his footwork. His feet were like size 18s or something. I mean, the guy, his feet were just way too big. He couldn't move his feet.
He probably need to invest in. He probably need to invest in a trainer. You get high. Hey, yo, Uncle Freezie. Yo, Freeze, I'm out.
And think about something.
Hey, bro, hey, listen, y'all coming on tonight? When next time y'all coming on?
Oh, I'm gonna do a show tonight. Talking about this shit. We talking about some shit, but hey, feel free, man. Thanks for having me on the channel. Any of y'all come through, man?
Just, pause. Was that a glizzy? No, that's a whole pause.
that was a sandwich. That was a sandwich. It was a sandwich.
What I say?
Pulled out the glizzy.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man, but hey, listen, hey, shout out to Uncle Freezie, man. I appreciate you coming over our channel, man. Give us some insight and shit, man. Hey, anybody come over to our channel?
Hey, and we gotta go on the road, man. We gotta go crash. We talk Mavs.
Put the channel in the chat.
Hey, Cowbell Hell. We gotta go crash Cowbell Hell or whatever the Kings call a thing now.
Freezie, I got an idea for you. I'm gonna hit you offline.
All right.
Hey,
put the channel in the chat, Demon.
If y'all see us, the channel live, man, come through. Hey, if you come through,
I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link.
I'll be running my mouth in there, bro. I don't be paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, I got you. What I'll do is I'm gonna put the link to the channel on our community page, and then that way it'll always be there.
Yeah, come through, man. We be having fun over there, man. Especially when we get our ass whooped like last night. But
yo, Matt be coming for y'all, bro. Matt is the ops, bro.
Oh, you say Matt?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
Matt just got that one. We just got one take, bro. That's it. I ain't worried about that, man. But hey, appreciate chopping it up with y'all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay up, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Please.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, so Free Keith, it's like we got this homie thing going on, man. Like with YouTubers around the thing, man. We trying to kind of grow it. You know what I'm saying? Some people feeling us, some people ain't.
That's super dope, Freezie.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. That's dope, Freezie.
Yeah, man. We,
now, Freezie, don't be telling us to throw they team size, and we still New Yorkers. We still, we so you
ain't nothing wrong with networking. Ain't nothing wrong with networking though. But it's still
and I get it. But he want us to, do special tricks and stuff when they come in the room. We still New Yorkers.
Yeah, I know. I know. Listen, man. It's all about showing appreciation.
No, because I don't want you to say throw it in the chat, then nobody throw it, and he'd be like, "Damn!" You gotta be like, "Hold on, yo, these New Yorkers, yo, they'll boo you. If anything, they looking to find a reason to boo you. So the fact that they letting you sit here, you already with it. You get out of pocket, they gonna run you out of here quick, bro."
Yeah, but bro, they trying to run the Chief Rock out of here.
Hey, look, GI, I was watching their streams though. If you know your stuff, they're really respectful.
Yeah, but we're not gonna give you no props right off the rip.
Oh no. Yeah, that's facts.
Just to earn them pieces, bro.
If you come in and talking nonsense, nobody's gonna. Nobody's gonna.
What he do? He got an L. Give him a fire. He about to spark something up. Give him some fire for what? What he got?
Yeah, but that's why. But yeah, that's why I say when you come on the panel, you gotta be dope because you never know who's looking.
No soft landings.
Know who's looking? Yeah, man, you gotta be dope, man. It can't be like coming in for a soft landing.
Hey,
because of all the ones, the ones that I reached out to, the ones that I rock with, and I only rock with them for like a show or two, is them Sacramento Kings dudes, the like the mixed college crowd dudes, bro. They crazier than us.
Kids. Now the college kids too cool for me. I can't do it with them,
bro.
I can't do that. That crowd stay away from.
I'll be honest. That's it. That's it. They got the energy. They got the right energy.
Just pop up and have like 20 girls come in the chat like, "Hey, go there."
Hey, Freezie, what's your Tuesday schedule for this evening?
After this, I'm gonna finish off these ice cold frozen grapes, right? and then work my 9 to 5.
Pause, yo.
Right.
Pause, yo. What the
Right.
heck is going on? What is this? Y'all can y'all have a back chat for this conversation? What's going on here, y'all?
And so we gonna do some 9 to 5 stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the bills around here got to be paid.
I know it. I
You
think
know
you were
what I'm
talking about for the network, please.
Nah, man. I love it, man. But people think Blorange, for some reason, people think Blorange Tears pay bills. No, I gotta. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
AdSense ain't bought nobody no Mercedes Benz.
Nah, man. You gotta. Nah. But later on, though, I'm gonna do the Mets channel. I'm gonna do that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do some Mets and then the Knicks at Night podcast later on tonight.
Yeah,
but no evening shows, bro. We gotta pay bills around here, bro. It's a new year. That's already on the wrong foot.
Hey, Dre.
What's up?
I want to make sure that you don't think I'm jumping you, but I do get a little edgy when it comes to Tibbs. And I don't know why, because I don't. Tibbs does have a connection to the 90s.
Yeah, it's a golden age.
I am a 90s simp. I am a Patrick Ewing simp. Freezie called me out today, and when he said it hit my heart. When he said, "Them cats from the 90s just love Patrick Ewing," I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
right,
yeah."
Basically, yeah, bro.
And if not for Michael Jordan, we would have
trying to think of other
players.
And even today, Oakley, at least I had Oakley because he came and hung out with Jersey. Even Oakley let me down long term. But Patrick Ewing, let me tell you something. He better hurry up and get out of that Georgetown Hoyer job because it's messing with his legacy, y'all. He can't ever. He better not ever ask for no NBA job. He better. So he better. I don't understand why he's waiting for them to fire him. But I said all that to say, I don't know if we knew who the way it's like the way management moves sometimes, and then they allow the fans to get behind it. Then why is Kenny Atkinson not coaching this team? Why the players you're picking up, the moves you're making, the things you're doing? Why is Kenny Atkinson? Why is Tibbs here? You know what Tibbs is here to do. Part of me thinks this, Dre, and then I'm gonna shut up. I think James Dolan said, "What y'all gonna do if I give you my organization? Because I don't do no tanks. I know y'all don't know anything, but who can y'all hire as the coach to turn this around ASAP?" And I think they told you, "We'll get Tibbs." And I think Dolan said, "You know what? Yeah, Tibbs gonna come in and try to turn things around ASAP, right?" I think there's nothing in my mind that would think that Dolan, Dolan's gonna give you the keys to his organization. I think he gives you 3-year window. That's a short window. I don't think he gives you the 5 that the contract says. So I think they had to bring in Tibbs to solidify them. But once you bring in Tibbs, he just got fired as the president and coach of operations. Now he's just a coach. Just a lot going on, bro. Just a lot going on. I can't blame Tibbs for everything right now in this organization.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't doing that or blaming Tibbs. I think Tibbs is a really good coach. I just know what his limitations are and what can happen. But like, I'm not gonna. He's done a pretty great job this year, in my opinion. I'm not one of the guys that just dumps on Tibbs for every little issue because it's purposeless. He does a lot more good than harm, for sure.
Well, I get disappointed in him
because of that relationship with Leon. You know, that's why I think.
Yeah, I mean, nepotism runs this whole regime. So
and he hasn't been bad. I mean, for the most part, you have to say he's succeeded. You know, he's definitely performed better than I thought he would perform with these teams.
But he looks so desperate to me. He looks so desperate all the time. And then that's why in here, Ivory, which drives my purgatory, because I'm looking at Tibbs. I'm like, yo, this guy wants to win a championship tomorrow. And you've had him here for 3 years. And you've never got him a star. You brought him guys he won't play. What's going on here? What you said, you said it politically correct, Ivory. You said they're operating in 2 different silos. This is your lane. This is my lane. Let's respect each other, operate in them, and smile and kiss the babies, right? But that it shows that cracks in armor. I'm sorry, Dre. Let me shut up. That crack in the armor will show from time to time, Ivory.
But
I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't agree with that way of doing business as well. I mean, you got to be on the same page with your coach, as far as I'm concerned. You got to know if he's going to play a guy. If you're giving up a first round pick for him before you go out and get him, makes no sense to me whatsoever. But I'm just, like I said, when I'm answering some of these questions, you oftentimes have to take yourself out of it. It's not necessarily what you think or what you feel. It's why you think it was done and why you think they're doing that. That kind of thing. It's just taking yourself and your personal feelings out of it and saying, why do you think it happened? I think it happened because they're separate. Do I think that's right? No, I don't.
Okay.
But to even to go a little bit further with Tibbs wasn't going to get another job from any other place, and this was basically his dream job growing up a Knicks fan. So no matter what roster you put out there, he was going to take this. Now throw Leon Rose being one of his friends on top of it. Tibbs would coach this team no matter if Blorange Tears was on the court, he would coach it. So it don't matter to him. This is his passion project, basically his last hurrah. He's not going to get another job coaching anywhere else. He was basically almost blackballed at this point. So, to even speak on that, it's kind of like it is what it is. What you're going to get out of Tibbs at this point. There's nothing else to expect, lesser or more.
Y'all speaking on Tibbs. Y'all speaking on Tibbs like he's some kind of
He's not a bum. He's not a bum. But
our losing season, the season we lost just last season, was our second highest scoring season in 9 seasons. This man brought us to a playoffs, some joint we ain't seen since 2012. Y'all really talk about Tibbs.
I think there's nuances to the question. There's nuances because
there's not. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm saying he has his limitations, and that's okay. Every coach has their limitations.
Everybody
got
their limitations.
There's no perfect coach.
How many superstars are? Because this is what I'm looking at now. And you said we may lose one, but how many players? This works because RJ, Brunson, and Randle, they're one and the same player. That not only forget the fact that they're 3 left-handed, they're 3 gym rats. These boys, these 3 just want to play basketball all the time. They're not into the glitz and glamour, the stuff on the outside. So my thing is, what other star are you going to come in? That's how Tibbs could get away coaching them and giving them minutes like that. What stars you going to bring in here that Tibbs going to be able to coach like this and treat like this? This is what I'm starting to think of long term. That's why I'm starting to get concerned with Tibbs. When I look and say, he's going to ease up on the minutes now. There's no way you can keep playing these players like this through 5 months of the season, and then you get these NBA playoffs that go from April to July almost, bro.
No, they're not. The top guys aren't getting played any more minutes than any other team's top guys.
Well, in the last month, they've been really elevated. The minutes have been really elevated because we've had injuries.
And then as everybody comes back, as his 9-man rotation comes back, like he was before, like the minutes distribution wasn't no worse, especially among the top guys, than any other team.
Keith, I gotta be honest.
Any other team.
Keith, I got to be honest with you. When the guys that are hurt now come back, you'll probably go get some dinged up from the guys those minutes are elevated now. Then they'll be out. It's going to be rinse, wash, repeat. To think that you're going to go through with the same 9 guys that you're comfortable with, and if you lose 2, you're going to drop to 7. It's crazy. Tibbs has got to change.
The thing, Keith, the only team that I can compare as far as rotations where a coach really runs his starters a ton is like Nick Nurse. And we all know Nick Nurse is a pretty good coach, but he also runs guys like Fred VanVleet, and he's been hurt often this year. He runs in 36, 37, 38 minutes a night. He does that with Pascal, and Pascal was out with an abductor earlier this year.
I think a lot of the pushback when it came to Tibbs was not just about playing these vets, but it was about playing them when we thought when we were told that we were rebuilding. When we were told that we were going to rebuild, we had a coach that was trying to win every game by playing vets over the young guys. So I think people just think he was the wrong coach, not necessarily a bad coach, but the wrong coach for where we were in our development. But in the end, what was most important to this franchise was a culture, and a positive culture, and not necessarily a winning culture, because I don't know if we have that yet, but we have a positive culture. And I think we can't underestimate that. And we can't underestimate Tibbs's, role in that. So, even though I was the first one to say, hey, this is the wrong coach for a rebuilding team, and I've been saying that from the very beginning, I still believe that there is some credit you have to give the guy for the cultural change around that the Knicks have been in.
Like he's added something to this franchise that we didn't have as far as respectability.
That
From
culture.
coaching. Yeah, so
they
it
all
matters.
have.
It matters.
We haven't been called dysfunctional. We haven't been labeled dysfunctional.
Nobody sees us.
And that's been a couple seasons now. Like that was the first hurdle that we had to get over.
In fact, my boys can't troll me, so they don't know what to say, and I don't celebrate that. But they can't troll me. But they're looking for an adjective. They don't have it. But I will say this that concerns me. Again, if you keep Tibbs, whose expectations are completely high, and this goes on for 2 years, and the fans get frustrated and put that pressure on Dolan and say, this is not the right guy. There's not even a bright future. And this thing breaks. How can that culture hold on? Do you have the right pieces in place to keep that culture in structure? And I think that will be my only concern, which is why I say purgatory till that star comes in the door.
I would say this Knicks roster right now, they're playing better.
How you doing, sir?
They're playing better defensively and offensively, but this Knicks roster is not good enough to make it to the NBA Finals. They need some pieces.
But it's baby steps. It's okay.
But here's why I don't call it purgatory is because I think let's just say we were able to add that all-star guy to what we have today without, say we did it with draft picks and maybe a couple of guys we don't play off the bench to make money match or whatever.
Right.
You have to admit we're as good as anybody just by adding that one guy. So if that's how far we are away, which is probably a lot of teams, right? That are like that.
Am I rude in saying Grant? I'm not calling this boy Tsunami Poppy. What the hell is his name?
We've never been one player.
Kelly Oubre.
Can I say Grant, Oubre, DeMar, Ball? Can I talk about all the players that moved, the stars that moved, Donovan Mitchell? Can I talk about all the stars that moved that would have been this player that all moved in the last 3 years while I rose and he wasn't in on any of them? How are you so optimistic that the next 10 that move, he's going to be able to?
No, I wouldn't say I'm super optimistic. I don't think anybody on this chat would accuse me of being the optimistic one when it comes to this particular team. But what they would say is that I'm fair. And the part that I'm fair about is we are all Knick historians, and we have seen what purgatory looks like. We know what hell looks like, and we are not in hell right now. We are not in hell. That's what purgatory is, what we just got out of. Right now, to be only one player away, when's the last time we were able to say that? We haven't been able to say that
in all those years you said.
We had Purgatory. My fault, but purgatory is really like when we gave up those 2 first-round picks to the Raptors for what's his name? Barks. That's purgatory. When we had limited assets and limited resources, and we had no way to pivot. That's purgatory. Like where the Bulls are headed right now, even with DeMar DeRozan and all these guys, where they overpaying these dudes. That's purgatory.
Yes.
Where we're at right now, we have as many assets as you can ask for.
And
sort of OKC.
Tell me what Leon Rose is going to get done.
You agree with that? You think Chicago's headed to purgatory?
Would
you trade anybody?
I don't know. No, Chicago is not
anybody on this roster for DeMar DeRozan.
Would I trade anyone on this roster? Of course, I'd trade every single person on this bench for DeMar DeRozan, and I'd even consider potentially a starter. But I would absolutely for DeMar DeRozan, 100%. Everybody on the bench, you can take every one of them if you want.
Is Zach LaVine the most talented player between the Knicks and the Bulls?
What'd you say?
Zach LaVine, the most talented player between the Knicks and the Bulls.
The most talented player or the best player? The best player is DeMar DeRozan between those two teams.
No, I said the most talented.
Talented. You got to give it to LaVine. LaVine's got talent.
I'm not gonna hold you. Julius Randle's playing better than DeMar DeRozan right now.
And no, I'll give it to DeMar DeRozan. Go ahead, because the way he scores in the fourth quarter, guys. Look at his fourth
He's a
quarter.
closer.
Randle fourth quarter, and then you'll answer your question.
He's a closer. That's why I think he'd be a great addition.
But guess who is playing better than Zach LaVine? Jalen Brunson.
A lot of people are playing better than Zach LaVine right now. That's why they still go to DeRozan right now to end games.
That's why. No, this is my little fight back to Freezie, because I'm still under the impression, because while he says that there's value in DeMar DeRozan, is limited value because the boy got some mileage on them threads, got some years on.
No, I'm not. I didn't focus that at y'all. I'm focusing this at Ivory.
No, I'm with that. Chicago's in purgatory. I'm with Ivory. I'm standing tall on it.
Well, okay. I don't know if they're necessarily in purgatory because I don't know what their draft situation looks like. But
they gave up all their picks for.
They gave up everything.
For Vucevic.
They got the other boy Vucevic.
Okay, but I've seen teams get better because you got to remember if the core of their team is younger, which what you have to say it's LaVine, right? He's still in his prime, right? LaVine is still young
with knee issues.
Rosen's only 33. They got him for a few more years if they want him.
They're probably not bringing him
core
back.
of their team. If they have a young core, I wouldn't say that they're purgatory because when you have a young core, you can always build something into that. You can always build from that.
Their young core
in that situation. If we were in that situation, I would say it was purgatory.
No, purgatory is when you have no.
I'm saying we're in purgatory now.
Hold on, Ivory.
But they have high end players. The Knicks don't have a high end player like that, bro.
Right.
But you can see
they're not even in the playing situation right now.
Exactly, like but if I'm a fan watching that team,
if you were missing your starting point guard, if the Knicks were losing it, if the Knicks didn't have their starting point guard, would the Knicks be in this situation?
But Freezie, that goes into it. If your starting point guard has basically a degenerative knee and that contract is going to be an albatross, and you're paying Zach LaVine $250 million when the trade kicker comes in,
purgatory, baby.
That
doesn't sound like a lot of hope.
Purgatory. You know why it's not purgatory? Because they could trade LaVine tomorrow. They could trade LaVine tomorrow, and all of a sudden they get
a whole bunch of picks. They can trade.
When that trade kicker comes in, he is not going for the Donovan Mitchell haul.
When the trade kicker comes, the Knicks are paying.
But purgatory is when you can't even trade the guy. Purgatory is when you can't even make a move and you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Yeah. Well, I want to see Zach LaVine traded first, and then I'll shut up. So they're in purgatory until they trade Zach LaVine. Fair enough?
No, I don't think so. Too.
No,
but y'all just said they could trade Zach LaVine. So it's
no. I'm saying I think they're struggling because
y'all slow down. Come on now.
I
was on the debate team.
Oh, okay. All right. What I'm saying is if the Knicks didn't have their starting point guard, they would lose 5 games in a row. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
The Knicks didn't have the point guard, and he lost a bunch of games in a row.
No, I said the Knicks are in purgatory, so great. Thank you.
But Freezie, there's context. Lonzo has not played all year, and we don't ever know if he's ever going to be the same person.
Okay.
We know what Brunson is, and unless Brunson has an unforeseen career-ending or career-threatening injury, we cannot say that about the Knicks. We can say,
how can we be in purgatory if y'all just said that when you're in purgatory, you have no way to go, no angles to move. The Knicks have draft picks. They have players they can trade away right now. So they're not.
And Greeny, the reason I said is because tell me something that these people who's been acquiring these assets have been able to do. That's my.
Well, that's a different thing. A willingness to move does not mean
not a willingness.
Not a willingness. Ability to
me and Ivory on the same page. See, the willingness to move and the ability to move are two different things.
Yeah, that's two different things. But that doesn't. But neither.
Go ahead.
Someone being conservative, we are in the midst of a conservative administration, and we were mad.
I didn't think that Ivory was going to be on the same side against Charlotte on this, but I'm with Ivory. I just think what Ivory's saying is you're
the man.
Okay, Freezie, I got a question. What would you give up for Zach LaVine at the most?
There is no at the most. There is at the least. For Zach LaVine, and I'm just, this is my opinion, right? Just
Okay.
me. Bro, the Knicks need high-end talent. Zach LaVine got a 5-year deal, right? I'm giving up everything for Zach LaVine.
Really?
So Freezie wants to take Chicago out of purgatory.
Oh man!
And then not only that, I'm giving up everything. I'm going to Chicago, and this is and chat. I know what y'all gonna say. That the word on the street is gonna be like Uncle Freezie wanting Zach LaVine. Easy. I was asked a specific question.
Right.
And Free Key for my witness. I was asked a specific question, right? What I would say if I go to Chicago, I'm like, what would it take for me to get Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan? And I would give them everything.
They can get that Donovan Mitchell type trade for that. They can get a Donovan Mitchell trade for that.
Yeah, I don't see Leon Rose making that move.
No, because Leon Rose ain't gonna make a move, boss man. Because it's January 3rd, and you ain't heard a whisper on the streets about what the Knicks want to do. It's January 3rd, and people are gonna be like, "Easy, take your time, man. You know the trade deadline is 6 weeks away." Well, trades don't work like that, bro. You don't just pick up the phone, tell them what you want, and then they say yes. You have to talk to front offices. Hey, bro, what you interested in taking for such and such? And these things take days, weeks, months.
So like the front office is out there. They should be telling the media what it is that they're working on, right?
No,
like they normally do.
No,
I'm giving the Orlando Magic 2 first-round draft picks and an unconditional, and I'm telling them, listen here, if you don't get Bol off your team, do you want Victor Windermere? Is that his name?
Wembanyama.
Because Bobo's
nah. His name is Yama.
Listen, you gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful getting a player like Bobo with a coach.
You worry about
Tibbs? I could see Tibbs getting sick of Bobo.
Tibbs would never play him.
Mike Malone didn't play him, and he's basically part of the Tibbs.
And you know who else? You know who else didn't play him? You know who else didn't play him, right? Ime Udoka. People forget Bobo played for the Boston Celtics.
Right. Well, what's going on?
When did that happen?
His defense is atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
He's a shot blocker that can't defend. He's like Mo Bamba. Just because you block shots don't mean you're a good defender. It just means you block shots.
I don't get to see enough of him. I just like the concept.
The reason why Mitch is good because Mitch is a good defender and a shot blocker and a offensive rebounder. All these other dudes, you just see them in highlight packages. Like you see Mo Bamba hitting threes or Bobo with putback dunks and blocking shots.
Yeah, there's a difference between a shot blocker and an intimidator. There's a difference between a shot blocker and an intimidator. Like, teams voluntarily get out of the way when Mitch is there. When they see him, they move.
When they see Mitch, they kick out to the corner for 3.
Right.
Yeah, man. Hey, so Sergeant Knicks, G-Man for life, my brother from another mother.
No.
Me and this dude was in high school together in the same city in North Carolina and didn't even know it. And we meet up here on the panel, bro.
Wow.
Rocky Mount, North Carolina, 1986. 1986 or 1985, 1984, 1980, something like that, whatever it is. Me and this dude was in the same. Me and this dude.
So Freezie is older than me. I get confused.
No, bro, I can't. I slipped. No, it was 1997.
And they said, "No, you're older than me, GI." And I say my name. I said, "I'm 51." He goes, "No, you're older than me, GI." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then he'll come back and say something like this, and I'm saying, "Well, he should be saying like 90, 91." Wait, G-Man's old. Wait, Freezie was a Freezie.
No lie, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Right before I moved to South Carolina, I lived in a place called Rocky Mount, North Carolina. You know, they played on the basketball team down there. I was on one basketball team. Northern Nash and G-Man went to another high school in the area. I ain't gonna.
I'm so confused because you told the same stories about being on the basketball team at Jersey City.
Yeah, Dickinson High.
You know? And then you were walking the slave fields, your family. with
no shoes on.
Like, this is just like, going on?
with those shoes on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I went to Dickinson High, and actually started out at a school named St. Anthony's. It's closed now, and we couldn't afford it, so then I had to go to Dickinson High. Right? I went there for a year, then went to Northern Nash, and then went down here in South Carolina, went to school. But it was because my parents were young, and they made a lot of young people decisions, and that's the reason why I moved around a lot. So, but G-Man says, "Stay the course, Knicks fans. Happy New Year. Happy New Year." I have a pit bull named Benny that's begging. I'm gonna change his name to Keep Sweat, bro. I'm gonna have a pit bull named Keep Sweat, bro. But that's him. That's him. So
he's getting your attention, Freezie, right?
Yeah, he's singing it. There you go, telling me no again. That's what he's singing in the living room. There you go, telling me no. That's Benny. And shout out to G-Man. G-Man said Northern Nash had all the red bones back then. Yeah, pretty much. All the light-skinned people with the Northern Nash, pretty much. But y'all listen, I'm gonna get out of here so I can do something
Great
with
show.
this dog.
Thank you for having us, Freezie.
I'm gonna get out of here and do something with this dog. I'm gonna be doing Mets talk in a little while. Right? I'm gonna be talking Mets. Mets. I think that should be the name of the channel, Talking Mets, right?
I think. Well,
all I'm gonna say is I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about it, and I'm gonna tune in, so I want to learn.
I was gonna say, Freezie, there's a network, the John Boy Network, and they have like Talking Yankees, Talking Mets, Talking whatever. That's their whole thing. They name it Talking Insert Sport Franchise. That's their whole network thing.
That's lame. The name of the channel now is Queens to Kings.
Oh, I like that.
And it's basically talking about how the Mets are going from Queens, New York, to the top of the baseball world under Steve Cohen. So that's gonna be the joint, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good. Hey, Ivory, you got to come back so we can start jumping people again. I kind of enjoy it. I like having somebody.
It is such a pleasure. It is such a pleasure to be with you fellas, man. I watch all you guys all the time. So
me and Keevers, you and Ivory, set it up, bro.
Yeah,
light skin versus dark skin. Let's do it.
The red bones versus the
team dark skin.
Hey, Free Keith don't want none of this smoke. I'm nervous about GI. I ain't worried about Free Keith.
We ready.
Because all I gotta do is soft tank and mentally hit him off the rails. Have a meltdown.
Nah, Ivory come with a loaded clip. Man. Argue. People don't realize me and him use the entire show to strengthen or de-strengthen our arguments on Purgatory, and we ain't even interrupt y'all doing it. We did it in our own.
We're still back on the same conversation we started with.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what though, Ivory, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Purgatory thing is real. My only thing is with the Knicks. I think the Knicks are ready for a rapture type scenario. In that Purgatory sense, that's what we are. Like we in Purgatory, right? The thing about Purgatory is not that you're stuck in a certain place,
but you're there,
right? It's Purgatory. In my mind, Purgatory is where you wander around in a place knowing where you want to go, but you don't have the means and all that stuff to get there. No matter how bad you want to go north or south, you don't have the means to leave and go to that next place, right? So in a sense, you're stuck. But you're stuck wandering around, lost, trying to, and I think that's the part that's because Purgatory is not like you sitting on a couch and you can't go nowhere because you're stuck in a couch, right? Purgatory is,
and I don't believe there's a basement. I don't believe. I believe we're at the basement.
But don't you believe we have the means, though? We have the means to change things.
We have amazing means. What I'm saying, though, is I then go back and showed you all the opportunities we missed having means.
We might not have the ability to.
Well, there you go. So if you don't have the ability, guess where you're at. Thank you.
That means you don't have the means.
Right. And what I'm saying about the Purgatory thing is I think the Knicks are waiting for a rapture type situation where something grandiose comes and saves them from themselves.
Can't miss.
Right.
And
in that scenario, I think they're either waiting on a superstar free agent to come here or the number one pick. And the Knicks are on this pace not going to get either. And so if you're not going to get either, how else are you going to be get raptured out of that purgatory? You're not. You're stuck. Right? Because the Knicks are in purgatory.
To make the trade. I think we have the means to make the trade. We just one's got to be available. And I kind of mentioned this before, is where I feel like in a situation like that, the Knicks' destiny is not in their own hands.
They've been available. DeJounte Murray was available.
Bro, you can get a star to come here, right? But the bus driver is blind in one eye and has an eye patch on the other. Right? Because think about what you have to offer. You telling me Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and 11 first-round picks cannot get you a star?
It ain't getting no better than that.
It's never been better. Doesn't make the move.
It's never been better. It's never been better.
Right. But our bus driver is blind in one eye and can't see out the other. Think about it. We can make a Godfather offer for Anthony Edwards right now. Right? You can make a Godfather offer for him, right? But the Knicks won't do it. Right, because they don't. This is the same franchise that passed on Kobe.
And this 3 and this 4 of RJ, Brunson, Mitch, and Randle, where they are now, is better than the core of Houston, Camby, and Spreewell, and anybody else that was with them, because they're younger, they're getting more time together, they ain't thrown together, and the contracts is lined up. Yo, we're in our best situation ever. If this man doesn't realize, he should be on the phone. They should be breaking reports, because they should be like, yo, would somebody tell the media the Knicks is out here trying to do whatever it takes to get that guy overnight?
Right.
So our purgatory has a ladder. We just got to climb out of it. We just haven't climbed out.
Our purgatory has a ladder, but it's got monkey grease on it.
we say it a lot that Tibbs, we say it a lot that Tibbs is a stubborn coach, right? But do y'all feel Leon Rose is stubborn too?
Yeah, Leon Rose,
because he hasn't made any moves.
What guys? Leon is new as well. Let's give him some time to get his feet.
Some time has been 3 years.
I truly don't agree that the Knicks are in purgatory based off what y'all was saying in your conversation, and I was just listening.
No, Greeny, here's why.
It don't
Let
make
me
sense.
explain to you real quick.
Because y'all was saying Chicago was in purgatory because they had no draft picks. No, and if they moved, I was listening the whole time. Y'all said if the Bulls would move Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, they would have draft picks. They would no longer be in purgatory.
Greeny,
you know what I'm saying?
It was said, but it wasn't everybody.
How are the Knicks in
Greeny, the Knicks are in purgatory because we have all these assets. The team is ready, but our management has $1 million free, clear, ready to spend. They don't even know what to do with it. That's what makes us.
The definitions of purgatory are just different. That's all. That's all we're talking about.
So Chicago's in purgatory because they have nothing they can do about their situation, but the Knicks are in purgatory because they don't want to move. It's like being lazy on the couch, and you have all the
No. I don't think they're capable of making the right phone calls, analyzing the right deal, realizing what it takes.
Yeah, so being lazy on the couch, like you said, the Knicks is being lazy on the couch, where the Chicago Bulls don't even have a couch to be lazy on.
I'm not accusing them of being lazy,
but they have top end talent. How are you in purgatory with top end talent? Is that a different? So it's another level of purgatory?
Because the top end talent, I don't see it coming together at the right time in April where they can rely on it to make championship runs, and that's the money they spent. If they spent that type of money not to win championships, then they stupid. And if Ball's not healthy at the right time, they just didn't get the right players. They gave it a try.
I'll tell you who's in purgatory. The Lakers are purgatory.
Oh, Lakers are death. Don't forget, purgatory is in between death. Don't forget, purgatory is in between death and heaven and hell. The Lakers are in hell. There's no purgatory for them. Purgatory are teams that they're one or two steps away from being really good, and some of those teams sit there forever.
So you're not saying purgatory is the worst place in the world to be. You're saying purgatory is in the middle.
For a 51-year-old fan who has never been able to remember winning the championship for this team, purgatory is a bad situation for me. Let's spin the wheels. Let me get excited. Let me lose a game 7 in the Eastern Conference Championship. So at least I can tell my boys, we almost got it. Now getting knocked out having a team that we're sitting here blogging about every day that gets knocked out and swept in the first round of every playoffs, is purgatory.
Right.
Well, I think I would agree with you there, but I think where the franchise is, it's just a matter of definition, right? And how you define the word purgatory and what you really believe it is. Some believe when you're way at the bottom, that's purgatory, but no, I think that most people, when you're talking about purgatory, it's in the middle where you can't get you can't get a good pick, and you're also not going to get anyone to come. That's
the definition of purgatory.
But purgatory for me is when your franchise is stuck and there's nowhere for you to go, which is what we've seen from this franchise.
No draft picks, no cash, no stars,
right.
No promising young players.
That are old.
Yeah.
So and in that case, it's scientific. You're in purgatory. In Minds is giving an opinion. I hope I'm wrong. The problem is I have some scientific facts to the mistakes that this front office has made in 3 years that has stopped us from competing at a higher level right now.
You're talking about front office ineptness, I think, more than anything. You're not saying franchise.
So what good is a drunken sailor with $1 million in cash?
With a fat yacht? What good is a drunken sailor with a nice yacht?
Like a drunken sailor. Yeah,
but we have to.
I like when you laugh at Ivory. That means I'm winning my argument a little bit.
No, I'm just trying to get where you're coming from, because you have a different definition of purgatory, right? When I think of purgatory, I think of where we've been, which is like a bunch of older players, no franchise player.
You talking about the Shannon Anderson years, the Clarence Weatherspoon years? No,
that was really depth. That was really depth. We wanted to
convince the Harrington years.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's still here, so technically, maybe we're still in purgatory. Othello's still behind the bench.
So that was really depth. That was really depth. But because the Knicks was so popular, we talked ourselves into it. And you didn't have the internet. Our media was more powerful. You picked up the New York Times. Everywhere in America picked up the Wall Street Journal. And those Knicks beat reporters were in there. So we beat people into believing in us. But we sucked. We sucked then. So I'm happy we go out and compete every night.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you're in purgatory, can you get out of purgatory with just one move?
I think one move would get us there.
Yes.
Because if you can get out of purgatory with one move, then we're in purgatory. But if you can't, then I don't believe we're in purgatory.
I think one move gets us there. I think 169 guy, man.
Patrick Ewing got us out of purgatory.
Yes, he did. One draft pick, one number one plug.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here so I can go to the thing, man. I'll let y'all later.